Introducing PubCoin. PubCoin is the rewards program for pub sports contributors. Regular chat contributors share their play of the day, POD, in the YouTube chat, including the phrase POD in their message. At the end of the week, the amount of units earned are converted into PubCoins. PubCoin can be used as reward points for prizes, shop discounts, and contests.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's Mills here, Pub Sports Radio. Do you guys want to challenge the personalities here at Pub Sports Radio? Do you guys think you're better than them at entering in your MMA predictions and picks? Would you want to get paid for it? $100? Here's how you do it, man. You sign up right here at the link below. It's just this easy. PubSportsRadio.com. Enter your email. Pick your weekly picks. That's it. Oh, and you get bonus points if you can predict how they're going to win in what round. Every single week, a new winner's getting crowned. So every Saturday on Pub Sports Radio. So come on and check us out. You can win $100 just for signing up. Only thing you need to do is see if you can beat us here at Pub Sports Radio by entering your UFC predictions and picks weekly. Do it. I dare you. See you guys soon.
Your membership to Gold, you will be automatically entered in every horse race, every Wednesday and Friday. It is time to race horses. We are racing camels today.
Shout out to the Gold members. We're racing in San Antonio immediately here. And we're off. 2 minutes, 74 canals on this racetrack. It's wide. We're racing in San Antonio.
Matt Wally moving forwardly. Jeff Slaughter in the mix as well. And as is Randall Sheffield, who's put that beautiful nose out front.
But it's actually real grass here, Jimmy. Maybe Kentucky bluegrass. Oldie, no! There he goes. Oldie in the lead now. K. Wolf falls back. The horses love it. Sometimes they stop and eat it on the way to the finish line. That's why your horses start so far in the back. Here, oh, look at Nuss Flush Allen bursting out here. J-Dub in the mix. Rude Boy up here as well. Jimmy, take it away.
There's Oldie. Oldie is moving to the front. We are past the halfway mark in our 2 mile. And there's Ricky Levy.
Oh my goodness, he's in the mix here. Jimmy, take it home. This is our first dog race ever.
19 seconds left in the horse race here. It's Fernando Mendoza trying to find the wire. 14 seconds left. Can Fernando Mendoza take this home? Here comes Kenny Ken. Kenny Ken wants a piece of the pie. Put his schnoz up front. Ricky Bobby, 9 seconds left. Can Donut Silks make it right? Can Res Mom make it right to be $50? You son of a bitch! Here comes Tori Coker. Kenny Ken Smoke and Mirrors. Director 97 home. That is way. Here comes Jason Meyer, the other auto custodian. Billy Friedrich. Joe's one. They're all coming down the finish.
Coin! Fired! Nowhere!
Oh no! Fanatical Jim!
From the Crawford, Peter Loshak, legendary sports handicapper, more dapper than a Dom. Father young phenom, known as Jimmy, who declared one day that the bag was here to stay. Information like a PSA, when we all PSR, Pub Sports Radio, bizarre. Is a man named Slaughter, and he flipped the script. No competition in this they quit the trip. But we say we be pubbing, betting up the bag and you love it. We want a top 10, we above it. Let's check.
Yo, what's up, Jim? Sorry, I was a little bit late, a little bit chaotic, but that's the way life goes, right?
That is the way life goes. Peter, it's been a long time.
Yeah.
A long time since we've had a Loshak in the bag in business here. Very, very interesting 30-game college basketball card. We have one more game in Olympic hockey. Then We will talk about the 6:10 a.m. game, Slovakia, Germany, before we get into college basketball. Peter, how are you, my friend?
I'm okay. One more tiny apology. I didn't quite realize that you wanted me to also research and prep the Olympic hockey games.
You don't have to. I've got it all locked down.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I apologize for that. I was just
no worries. I've got it all locked down. God, I wish we had Olympics every year. I feel like I've got the hang of it now. It took a little while. But we're off to a nice day today. Germany, France, first period under 1.5 lost. Germany, France under 6.5 cashed. France +3 lost. Italy +4 cashed. Switzerland, Italy under 6.5 at +115 cashed. Czech, Denmark, first period under 1.5 +105 cashed. So that puts us in a nice situation. We're not going to get into all that now, but we have a game going on as we speak here. And it is, 3-2. It is, God, goal scoring explosion here. In the second period. Damn it. Okay, well, that's not as good here. So I've got the under 6.5 clearly in peril, and I've got Denmark +2 also in peril. Shout out to all the cappers joining us. Here we got Rez Mob, Steady Mob, and he's on Iowa -1 at -110. I've only made bets on 2 college basketball games here today, and one of them is Iowa first half. So I am on Iowa first half, but man, Pete, it has been a rough college basketball season. I have seen your record here without me being very strong, low volume, but very, very strong.
Yeah. Do you want to, by the way, we had an okay start to the day as well. Al Sadd and Al Ittihad, both teams to score, already cashed in the first half. So that's nice. In Arab soccer.
Nice, man. Nice,
for my records, do you want me to just start new with the show with you? That's probably a good idea. Even though, I think you can do that when you're throwing away a good record. Throwing away a bad record, that's a little questionable. But I'll throw away my good record and just start from scratch.
Well,
show. What do you think?
We can discuss that. Whatever works. Yeah. I haven't really broken that one down here, but we can figure that out. It's great to see you, Peter. It's great to work with you. I can't wait to see you at Pubapalooza 5. Not far from now, I'll be getting to like olden days. Stare into that mustache as we are breaking down games. I look very much forward to it. We got Justin Mcelvy stacks plays of the day. 1 and 2 are in. SMU +4, Kentucky, Georgia over 161.5. We got Twisted 24/7 Kong's clips. He is all over Louisville in every which way. I'm pasting all of these down. And a big shout out to Big Zo. Big Zo says, yes, Loshak in the bag returns, best gambling show in the universe, and a $19.99 dono to bless our action. What a guy here.
I'll tell you right now, I don't know if anyone has scored yet, but I did take the over 3 +107 in Al Wasl Al Zawra, and I also put a little on Al Wasl -1/4 -118 in AFC Champ League 2.
Sure. So is Arab soccer your go-to these days?
I wouldn't say go. I wouldn't say go-to. It's a little strong,
but it's a niche. It's a niche market.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, we have more Arab soccer. Can you repeat that one more time for those?
I put over 3 minus. This was. I don't know if these lines are definitely still not there, and I don't know if anyone scored, but I took over 3 +107 in Al Wasl Al Zawra. I also put a little bit on Al Wasl -1/4 -118.
36 more days, says Nasty Nate here. Jose Perez, Real Madrid, a money line. We got Kong's clips. Plays of the day are also Louisville money line and Texas Tech first half money line. Let me see if I can get this all copied and pasted before we get into Olympic action here. Spooner in the house. I've gone over Spooner's action. I got it sent to me a little while ago. So he's got a great card and a giant card, which we will be discussing here on the show. We got Los Chudy says Michigan is free. I cannot wait to talk about that game. And NC State says Los Chudy. Swiggy in the house. Chang Kim says, Pete, you have a soccer play today. I mean, he's just giving out glory. Here, glory here.
And I also took a shot with Tractor Tabriz -1/4 +103. Just FYI. Again, those lines are not there anymore.
Need it, Peter. Miss Smokes a lot. Acacia Cook in the house. Like Miss Smokes a lot. That's great to see you. Billy Friedrich. We have Billy Friedrich's Pig Milk play of the day. And we also have him adding Air Force team total under in New Mexico first half. Spooners action and Ski Profit in the house. our guy, Ski Profit, the first ever winner of the Loshak in the Bag Trivia Contest many years ago in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Ski, I'm hitting live soccer picks, soccer plays now. Live soccer.
Ski Profit in the house. Great to see you, Ski. 9 Legacy Flank Steak play of the day is in. I'm copying, pasting all of this action, trying to not focus on Arab soccer. It's difficult hearing all this action here. All this
you have
action.
to deal with what life gives you, not with what you want.
We have 40 kid in the house. The Godfather, Los Chudy took Denmark plus 1.5. King Ooh says, living in my late 2010s all over again. That show in Costa Rica got me through some serious times. We love you, King Ooh. Respect. Great to see all you guys. Wager Detective in the house. Deacon, the mic. My dudes plays of the day in here and Twisted. Let me get both of them here. I've almost caught up to everything. We got Vom Polo in the house. Great group. Friends we've had for many, many years here rocking with us. Thank you guys for joining us. We got Nordy ready to get to work. Green Beans ready to go. Let's get this here copied and pasted here. Great. We do ready to get to work. Matty, I start a Taint play today. Deacon Mike here. All right, HJS for life. I just can't sit here with you putting down all my friends and colleagues. So no more, please. I do not want. I'm so excited to be back here, rocking with Pete. I don't want your negativity to get involved. So please,
unless it's directed at me. Did he put me down? I like that.
No. Very kind words to you.
Right.
Very kind words to you. But
I know I look good. If he said I look like a tool, he's wrong.
No, God, no. He's nothing but love for Peter Loshak here. Okay, so here we go. Great to see all of you guys. Loshak in the Bag is back in business here, and I'm excited. Pete,
you said Al Wassel minus a quarter was a bad pick. He might have a point there. The over I like a lot more. All right, sorry.
He did not. Pete, let's set it up here for Sweden and Latvia, because I do have a plan, but I wanted to talk it out here. And I was hoping that all of these games would go under. I had an opportunity to take the under 6 in regulation in Czechia, Denmark. And of course, that saves you from the 3-3 going to overtime. You get the push, but then you don't win in a 4-2 or, game scores of that nature. So I did take the 6.5. I wonder if that will burn me here. Czechia 3, Denmark 2 after 2 periods of play here. Peter Loshak, Sweden versus Latvia. Have you been hammering many of the Olympic hockey games?
No, I would love to, because I think it's like so fun, but I just have not had time. And, if I had any extra time, I would have been like, look at that. And I probably would have looked into it, because I love Olympics in general. I think and in fact, I screenshotted a whole bunch of Olympics opening lines from the Shark books, just in case I might want to know what they were later on. But
I've been doing the same thing.
We're close to that much time.
I've been doing the same thing every day. So I've got the screenshots of Sweden, Latvia here. When was the last time? Last time was yesterday at 10:15 at night. But let's set up Sweden, Latvia, because there is something I'm very interested in, but I wanted to talk it out with you guys first. Why don't you, is there a table that you can set for us for Sweden, Latvia?
Sweden, great country. Latvia, not quite so great, but still an okay country. That's pretty much all I got. No, I'm kidding. Latvia is awesome.
Oh man. And the Goracle, thank you for the dono from the Goracle and from Big Zo. Thank you guys so much. It means a ton.
For real, though, I did do one thing. I did take a shot with Galatasaray on the 12:45 Champions League game, first half plus a quarter, minus 153. I did take a shot with that.
Yes, 40 kid. We're back every Tuesday. We are back here every Tuesday. Loshak in the Bag back in business. So this is how I see this game. Every super team has had their, explosion offensively. Every super team at some point in this tournament has put it all together and shown why they were, is thought of the way they were. Remember, Sweden was the third highest ranked team coming into this behind Canada, America. They went off at 7-1 to win it all, and they didn't look very good. Here they are, needing to win a game to get into the quarterfinals. And if they win, they face America. And I do believe that they can give America a test. So I was on 3 unders to get the card started. My last spot here is I think that it's possible that it happens here, that Sweden has an explosion offensively. Now, Latvia is a really good team. We expect Mcelvy in net. This is not a fade of Latvia. It's just that this was the one game where I wanted the over. I don't think that you need to bet both the over and Sweden minus the, you'd have to turn it into a 3. And then you're asking Sweden to win by margin. If Sweden wins by margin, the over 1.5 cashes and the over 6 cashes. I don't think we're in a spot here where we see Latvia be completely shut out here offensively. This is a skilled group, So with saying all that, and I kind of wanted to say this out loud, I'm not going to take Sweden to win by margin. I think the safest bet here is the over 6. But I'm also going to take the first period over 1.5 because I think Sweden delivers here. And there's no point to add, as I said, it's the same bet sort of. I mean, if you look at Sweden's team total here, I mean, it's a 4.5. So for me, it will be, and it's 4.5 juice to the over. I mean, if they score 5 goals, does Latvia not get us 1? Philly Eagle Flyers on the over 6.5. So I've been on 3 unders to start the day. And I'm going to be on the over in this one and the first period over, which I believe is correlated with a Sweden win. Is there a chance that Sweden wins this game 4-0? Yeah. But Latvia doesn't care about, ranking here if they lose this game. If Latvia is down 4-1, unlike Italy and, France did a little bit, but unlike Italy for sure, they're going to go all out to score. They don't care how they lose or, if Sweden starts putting up goals against them. So I've talked it out. That's going to be my plan. I haven't bet this yet. This line has not changed since last night. So that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the first period over 1.5, and I'm going to take the full game over 6. And I will be I'll be betting that during the show. I'll be setting that up and betting that during the show. So I've talked it out, Pete. This is my first over on today's card. And I think that it works. And I I very rarely bet overs. I'm 9 out of 10 totals are unders. I actually think this is my first over of the tournament. But going back, like we saw the super teams, it was the fade of the super teams and betting the unders was early in the tournament. As the super teams get rolling in this small ice rink, they get scoring. So that is the plan here. Shout out to Res Mob. We got Rich and Van City going both teams to score in the first period at plus 255. That's a beautiful spot. Okay, Gorky, I got you. Michigan and Texas Tech money line. I got you. Don't worry. I'll repaste that here. So that is my plan. Peter, we have a game popping off at 6:10 a.m. Slovakia, Germany here. That's our final spot we're going to talk about before we get into college basketball. I'll be setting up the college basketball games for Peter. We have the Taint play of the day in as well. The Skyhawks. It is a big revenge game at home. So the Skyhawks, UT Martin here. Thank you for sharing that with us, Matty Ice. Thank you to all the cappers who've shared their action. I've got it all copied and pasted here, and very excited to go over it all with you guys. Kong's Clip says college basketball is heating up. Our guy Kong's Clips. Kong's Clips, Peter, won the Survivor pool. He won last year's bracket contest. And he's going for back-to-back bracket contest wins, our guy Kong's Clips. But I've got this all copied and pasted. Is there anything you want to touch on for Slovakia, Germany, or you want me to just hammer away?
Me? No, I'm listening. I just haven't looked at it at all, so I really got nothing.
Again, I'm high on Germany. I do not think the game today hurts them. It was an easy game. They played well over France. They scored some goals, and they're in playoff type mode. I thought that 5-1 loss to USA they played pretty good in. It could have been 0-0 going to the second period. And there's a Schnizzle in the house. We need Icky E. Schnizzle at Pubapalooza, man. Pubapalooza. We need you, Icky. We need you. Peter and I need you. So I am going to be on Germany. I'm going to be on Germany. I don't think there is a need to wait on this. I think it's telling that they're slight favorites over Slovakia. This is not a fade of Slovakia. This is just a belief in Germany. Oh, he's out, Nasty Nate. You know what? I don't buy it, Nate. 35 days. We got time for him to flip the switch and join us here. Schnizzle's on Nylander goal and first goal, and Sweden -1.5 and Nylander goal at +150. Backing Willie Nylander here in that Sweden game. I'm going to be on Germany. I don't see the point of waiting. I think I should bet this now. I'd be surprised if the line goes back to Slovakia. We need him to flip. Nasty. Give him all the time he needs. Give him all the time McSnizzle needs. He could make a move to San Antonio last minute. We know that, man. But yes, so I'm going to be on Germany. I'm going to be on Germany to take care of business. We are going to start the show a little bit earlier tomorrow so that we, Gorkle and I, can break down Finland and Switzerland with time for us to get our action in. But I'm going to be on Germany. This -115 looks fine to me. I will line shop a little bit. But to bring it all back before we get into college basketball, I'm going to be on the first period over 1.5 in Sweden, Latvia. And I'm going to be on the full game over 6 in Sweden, Latvia. I'm going to be on Germany money line. And I still need time on Finland, Switzerland here. That is the plan of attack. Don play with UMass in his pocket. I'm going to copy and paste all of this. Copy and paste all of this here in the house. And TJ, look at this. TJ's got his first MLB win total of the season. Let's get this copied and pasted. Says Chicago White Sox under 68.5. Opened at 64.5 in most places. Now up to 68.5, under 68.5 for the Chicago White Sox. That's copied and pasted. Peter, any update on the soccer action?
No, I'm not even. I'm moving on. I'm
moving on. Not even paying attention now. Move on. Okay. All right. Von Polo says, I remember when the show was 2 times a day. Those were great times. I miss very much. Peter Loshak, it is time to deliver in college basketball, something that you have been doing without me. Hopefully you can lead me to winners here. Jose, let's get started here in college basketball. We start at 6 p.m. Eastern with the mighty Gardner-Webb Runnin Bulldogs, 3-24, 1-11 in the Big South at Charleston Southern Buccaneers, 12-15, just 3-9 in the Big House. Big South, sorry. We are in the Big House, Buccaneer Fieldhouse in Charleston, South Carolina. Ken Palm rankings have Gardner-Webb 363rd, ahead of 2 teams in the nation. Charleston Southern at 248th. Let's take a look at the line history here for this one. Not a lot of movement here. We've had a little bit of movement of late. Okay, so this opened up at 17, went down to 16.5. It was sitting at 17.5 for a long period of time. Then this morning, a half-point move towards Gardner-Webb. Half an hour before the show started, a point back to Charleston Southern. We're sitting here back at 17.5. So we had a half-point move towards Charleston Southern here. From a total standpoint, we have a 159.5. This one opened up at 160. It went down to 157.5, got up to 161. Now we're sitting at 159.5, a half-point move towards the under. Taking a look at cash flow, we are not going to get information. We're not going to get information here on this one. Gardner-Webb comes in off his 5th straight loss and 12th in 13 games. A 112-87 setback at home versus High Point on Saturday's 25.5-point Dogs. Peter, they lost by 25 despite shooting 57% from the field and 50% from 3. It's pretty amazing to lose by 25 when you shoot like that. They lost at home to Charleston Southern on New Year's Eve, 89-79 is 12.5-point dogs. Charleston Southern comes in off their 9th loss in 10 games, 90-80 at Radford on Saturday is 4.5-point dogs. They were down 50-30 at the half, so I don't sit here thinking that, because they just showed so little in the first half against Radford, I expect them to be accountable early. One of the first things I wrote down was Gardner-Webb first half. I certainly haven't bet it, and the longer I capped it, more question marks I put to it. Peter Loshak, does anything interest you in our first game of 30, the Big South, Gardner-Webb, Charleston Southern game?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much I agree with you. Free play, I would definitely put on Gardner-Webb first half, but, if any game on this card is going to be fixed, even I was like, maybe I'll make some cold calls to some Gardner-Webb or Charleston Southern numbers, see what I can cook up. How much would it cost to fix a game like this? There's no way I'm touching it, but definitely free play Gardner-Webb first half, no question about it. Total free play, put it on the over, but I'm not going to touch it.
Let's roll on to our next spot on the board here. We have 2 games popping off at 6 p.m. Get us that early action that we so crave. Boston College Eagles 9-16, 2-10 in the ACC at Florida State Seminoles 12-13, 5-7 in the ACC. We're at Tucker Center in Tallahassee, Florida. Boston College ranked 150th, Florida State 79th. These are 2 teams moving in opposite directions. Boston College comes in off their 6th straight loss and 10th in 12 games, 86-75 at home to California on Saturday's 3.5-point dogs. This is their lone meeting with Florida State. Florida State comes in off their 4th win in 5 games, destroying Virginia Tech in Blacksburg, 92-69 as 4.5-point dogs. They have seemingly righted the ship here. Do you want to back them after such a big, dominant victory, though, is the question. They got to be feeling good about themselves. 145.5 opener. Got up to 148, dropped back down to 147.5. We're still back at 148. Is juice to the under, but a 2.5-point move to the over. And then from a point spread situation here, this line's moved to Florida State. Opened up at 10. That lasted for 42 minutes until it became an 11. That lasted for 2.5 hours before it became a 12. It's bounced around from 11.5 to 12.5, but we're still at 12, which is a 2-point move towards the Seminoles. This Florida State hat many years ago, when we had our Miami hookup, Miami hangout, was a gift from the Big Ragu. The Big Ragu is planning on coming to Pubapalooza 5.
Shit.
And, man, we need that dapper gentleman rocking with us.
Class act.
He's Money in the Bank. And this was a gift from the Big Ragu many years ago. So when we take a look at the cash flow here for this Florida State Boston College, 55% of tickets and 88% of the cash on Boston College, and the book seemingly could care less or very comfortable, I should say, with that money coming in on Boston College. 80% of tickets on the under, 93% cash on the under. Peter Loshak, any interest in our game 2 here?
Yeah, I mean, I do. I understand that some people are thinking that BC might cover this one, but Florida State turned a corner this year, and we actually talked about it last Tuesday. I forgot who it was. Someone said that they don't trust Florida State, but you see teams turn corners at this time of the year, and Florida State clearly one of those teams. And their game before their last blowout win was a home loss, right? Straight up home loss. So I don't think they're going to be taking BC not seriously. One thing I have been doing a little bit, Jim, is I do like some if there's some, minus 200 faves and stuff for first half stuff, I do like 2-team parlays. So I'll probably throw a bunch of those in. I would consider, a Florida State first half money line as part of a parlay. I think that Florida State legit turned a corner, and I don't think that this is a down spot for them. So, and also there's a injury for Boston College. Not sure if he's going to be back, and they're just a little outclassed here, I think. So I understand why people might be saying BC might cover, but I'd be leaning Florida State.
And it's just, my feeling was, yes, we expect Florida State to win, but by more than 12 feels like that's a sharp line. I get it. I'm the same. Let's talk about the big one. The big one on the board, Peter. Number 1 ranked Michigan Wolverines, 24-1, 14-1 in the Big Ten. At the Purdue Boilermakers, 21-4, 11-3 in the Big Ten. We're at Mackey Arena, West Lafayette, Indiana. So let's take a look here. we've got action. We've got action from our cappers here on this one. Spooner is on Michigan minus 1.5. We have the Goracle on Michigan minus 1.5 as well. It's a Michigan Texas Tech money line parlay for the Goracle. So I thought we had more people, but that's it here at this point. On the Boilermakers, Michigan, Ken Palm ranking first, Purdue 8th here in this one. Michigan comes in off their 10th straight win, 86-56 at home over UCLA on Saturday's 15.5-point favorites. They outscored UCLA 46-18 in the second half. This is their lone meeting with Purdue this year. Purdue has followed up that surprising 3-game losing streak with a 4-game winning streak. They come in off a very impressive 78-57 victory at Iowa on Saturday's 2.5-point favorites. Acacia looking at the over here. We have Wine Time saying Michigan is rightfully the number one team in the nation, but he wants Purdue. Justin Mcelvy with Purdue plus 2.5. Dizzy says Michigan with the spread is free money. Twisted said Purdue plus 2.5 if he was on a side. And Jose Perez just live bet Denmark plus 1.5 at plus 140 here. 17 minutes left in the third period. It's a 3-2 game there. Let's take a look here at the line history for this massive basketball game. Michigan sitting right now minus 2.5. Opened up at minus 2. Spent a long time at minus 1.5. This moved to 2.5. This moved to 3. 9:30 this morning. Now we're coming back to a 2.5. A half-point move towards the number one ranked Wolverines. And from a total standpoint, Peter, we have a 157.5. This opened up at 154.5. It really has only climbed. There was an initial half-point move to the under, but then it's just climbed. Got up to 158 though, so we're not quite at that high water mark. We've moved 3 points towards the over. When we get to the cash flow on the spot, we have 68% of the tickets and 87% of the cash on the Michigan Wolverines. 69% of tickets on the under, 75% cash on the under, and yet this one continues to climb. Billy Friedrich, the Godfather, says the Purdue plus 2.5 minus 110 to minus 115. Billy Friedrich says that may add Michigan double result. They have the best first half difference in the nation. Justin says Michigan bettors can think. Yourself can. I think it says means thank. Yeah, I can thank the Excel for this ass beating. And then we have a Dizzy saying anyone taking Purdue is just trying hard. There's every reason to bet Michigan, take the points in the cash. Michigan's the best team in the country and outsizes Purdue and outmatches on every level. Take it away for us here. Von Polo says a lot of people on Michigan trying to be cute when Purdue is hot right now. So if we have people on either side of the fence, Peter, do you like this one?
Well, I did take Michigan minus 2. Now it's up to 2.5. I see. I understand the treachery involved there. You know, Purdue, of course, could easily win. What are the chances? I took Michigan minus 2. Lean first half as well. You know, they could lose. I think that Michigan is significantly better, and it's you know, better than 53% chance that they cover the 2, but certainly not a lock. But I took it.
Yeah, just in the Lendenberg TikTok. Yeah, no, I feel you, my man. Ronnie Lofton says going to wait and see if he can get Purdue to jump out early and then get on Michigan money line alive. Yeah. Godfather says can Purdue slow down enough to give them a chance? It's what
that's
he's
the question.
betting on.
Yeah.
Is this official action for you, Peter?
Well, I don't know if 2 is really available anymore. What am I seeing here? Yeah, you know, yeah, you know, I sure, why not? I'll make it official. I'll make it official. We'll go to a sharp book and we'll maybe buy down to 2 minus 118. Geez, all right. I believe in him. I'll take it. I'll take Michigan minus 2 minus 118.
Michigan official. Minus 2 minus 118. So we have the corner of Loshak and Spooner Avenue. Peter, we roll on.
I'm going to make some soccer picks official. The soccer is very coin flippy. You know what I mean? Weighted coin flippy. So there's ups and downs and runs and shit. But I'll make Galatasaray first half plus a quarter minus 153 an official soccer play. And all my soccer lines will just be. Am I allowed to name a book? Am I allowed to name it?
We like to focus on the legal books right now. Yeah.
Okay. You know.
You can call it an offshore though. Anytime.
You know, the big one. Not the one that used to be the big one. The big one now.
Let's roll on, Peter. Michigan -2 locked in. Miss smokes a lot. Also agreeing with that spot. Twisted says Michigan is a better team, no doubt. But Purdue's 3-ball will keep this close, if not win outright.
Yeah,
And if they can make it
definitely.
the charity line, all the better. Kongs clips also on Michigan. I'm very interested in joining you guys on Michigan. Let's roll on. Villanova Wildcats 20-5 and 11-3 in the Big East. And Xavier Musketeers 13-12, 5-9 in the Big East. Cintas Center in Cincinnati, Ohio. Villanova ranked 26th. Xavier ranked 94th here. My dude also on Michigan. Louisville moneyline parlay. Ronnie Crawford in the house. Great to see you, Ronnie Crawford. Villanova comes in off their 5th straight win, 80-69 at Creighton on Saturday's 1.5-point favorites. This is their first meeting this year with Xavier. They meet again on March 7th. Xavier snapped their 2-game losing streak with a 96-88 victory at home over Marquette on Saturday's 1.5-point favorites. They went 16 of 34 from 3 in the victory. Big Pete just won his over 3 in one of his Arabic soccer bets. Excellent work here.
I like the over way better than the other one, but all right. Yeah. Thanks.
We got Monzy Mons in the house. Chicago Joe as well. Monzy on Nebraska moneyline and Miami of Ohio. I will copy and paste that. Billy Friedrich says Nova by double digits. Nova is playing very well right now. Xavier, looked okay against Marquette here. I did have some interest in Xavier. Went over their home games and found them somewhat appealing. This total opened up at 151 and moved to 152. I wasn't going to bet it without hearing from all of you guys here. And then from a spread perspective, we're down to a 4. This was 4.5 available for me this morning, and I decided no. Now we're down to a 4. So we had a 1-point move towards Xavier. Taking a look at the cash flow for this one, 51% of tickets and 84% of the cash is on Xavier. 60% of tickets on the under, but 78% of cash is on the over. Wine time on Xavier +4 here. Jose Perez on Villanova. We got the spreadsheet play of the day in as well. I will copy and paste that.
That's a crazy one. You know what happened there, right? The coach got fired. And
Tang, we was going back and forth with Spoons about it. I do not believe I think that Tang's going to take him to the bank, man. That's cause. Come on, that's cause. If I was a lawyer, I'd be licking my chops, wanting to milk K-State and that AD for every cent that Tang was owed. But take it away here for us, Pete. Villanova, Xavier, your thoughts?
I mean, I can understand why. I mean, Xavier's certainly an impressive team, but that last game, they shot really well from 3. Their defense wasn't really there. But more importantly, Villanova's a scary team right now. So free play, because I see people I like on Xavier. Free play, I guess I would throw it on Xavier, but that's very scary. There's no way I'm going to bet it. Nova definitely rolling, and I don't really trust Xavier. I trust them, against in certain spots, but not against a real rolling quality team like Villanova right now. The win against Marquette was good, but again, the D wasn't there. They shot well from 3, and Villanova is a little bit of a juggernaut right now. So I hope Xavier cashes. I'm not taking Villanova, but very scary for me.
I understand the trepidation there very well. Let's roll on. Head over to some action for us. Northern Illinois Huskies at the Buffalo Bulls. Huskies 8-16. 3-9 in the MAC. Bulls 15-10, 5-7 in the MAC Red Alumni Arena, Buffalo, New York. NIU ranked 316th, according to Ken Palm, and 130 spots better is your Buffalo Bulls here. NIU comes in off getting demolished. I mean, annihilated, 88-46 at Central Michigan's 4.5-point dogs. It was by far their worst loss of the season. They were down 51-22 at halftime. So I want to back them here, and this has not been working in college basketball. It's not, but I am interested in them first half. It was their second straight loss, third in 4 games. Buffalo comes in off snapping their 3-game losing streak with a 63-53 win at Ball State as 1.5-point dogs. They won at NIU 81-67 on New Year's Eve as 6.5-point favorites. Daniel Friedrich went for 33 in that victory. He has been injured since February 3rd. It sounds like a long time ago, but it's just 2 games. So they've played twice. They've lost to South Alabama 81-69, defeated Ball State. I can't get information on the injury. I don't, if you look at some injury reports, he's not on the injury report, but there's also no report of him returning. So I don't know. Of course, the whiskey transfer, Daniel Friedrich, I don't know what the story is there. But, when I asked Spoons, do you have any idea about Friedrich? He said if Friedrich was available, this would be double digits. And we saw this move open at double digits, quickly move to 8.5, which is where I believe we are right now. Let's see. Yes, we're 8.5. It's been that way since 9:20 this morning. It moved to 8.5 at midnight, went back to 9 at 7:30. So this opened up at 10. That first move took 3 hours, but moved from 10 to 8.5. Pretty legit move. And then from a total standpoint here, we have that's not the right one. Sorry. From a total, we have a 147. This opened up at 144, got up to 148 before there was buyback. Went down 146.5. Now we're at a 147. And then when we get to the cash flow here for this spot, I'm not sure if we're going to get any of the information. Let me see if we do. And no, I'm not getting. Should I be getting sorry, I don't hate to slow this down. Yes, 77% of tickets, 91% of the cash on NIU. And South Point just moved this to an 8. Wow. Look, I could have bet that NIU first half +5. I certainly stared at it for a long time. Take it away here for us, Peter. Any interest in our first action of the day?
Yeah, statistically, I think Northern Illinois first half is okay. I haven't been following the team closely enough to explain what's happened in the past few games, why they've gotten so blown the F out. And Buffalo, a very up and down, a little bit of an idiosyncratic team, a little bit of a hard to put your finger on. But I think that Northern Illinois plus first half plus a bunch of points, and probably full game as well. I'd be leaning that way. It's treacherous, as most of these college basketball bets are, but I don't see any injuries for Northern Illinois under the radar or otherwise. And so yeah, I like Northern Illinois first half. I'll take it officially. Why not? I'll take it. Northern Illinois first half, sure.
I was staring at the +5 for a long time. So the +5, I was just looking at it an hour ago. I imagine it's still available for you.
Well, we'll look around here. I'm seeing 4.5. I'm looking around, but I'll take it.
Really? Is the 5 gone?
Yeah, definitely gone. 4.5 minus 110.
Huh. Let me just come back to where I was here. No, I'm looking at +5 minus 115. All the first halves at 365 are minus 115 each way.
All right, I'll take that. Sure. If you can get if you 5 minus 115, I'll take it for my official play.
Available right now. Yeah, I like that. I'm interested. I almost of the bets. I've made 2 bets, but that was very close to being on my card here to start it out here. And we have Kong's Clips doubling up on Texas Tech. Of course, that'll be our last spot on the board that we will be discussing here shortly. We're going to stay in the MAC here. Ypsilanti, Michigan, Central Michigan Chips, 8-17, 4-8 in the MAC. At the Eastern Michigan Eagles, 9-17, 3-10 in the MAC. Eastern Michigan still, Ken Palm rankings 42 spots higher than Central Michigan. Hard to believe that watching Eastern Michigan play basketball of late. But let's start with the Chips. Snapped their 2-game losing streak by annihilating NIU at home, 88-46 on Saturday. It's 4.5-point favorites. And they destroyed Eastern Michigan, just crushed them, 165 at home on January 27th as 2.5-point dogs. And in that game, it was 31-26 Eastern Michigan with 3 minutes and 47 seconds left in the first half. Then they were out. The Chips outscored them 74-34 the rest of the way. Eastern Michigan comes in off their 8th straight loss, 76-62 at home to Western Michigan on Saturday, 6.5-point favorites. They outscored 48-29 in the second half. So if you try to pinpoint exactly what's gone wrong, they lost senior guard Carlos Hart. He got injured on January 13th. His statistics aren't that much, but I guess they have a freshman in his place who's probably out, putting up some okay numbers, maybe even better than Carlos Hart, but there was a calm with the senior on the floor, is my guess, and heightened defensive play with Carlos Hart. He's been out since January 13th, so maybe that's when Eastern Michigan fell off here. Yes, Spencer Hicks, my man, get an Airbnb right around Southtown. We're all doing that. It's much cheaper than hotels. Get it for about $100 a night, maybe a little bit over that, and get it within walking distance. Southtown 101. I love hearing that Spencer Hicks may be joining us. That pumps me up. All right, let's take a look at the line history here. We have a total of 143, Peter. This opened up 143.5, got up to 144.5. We're down to a 143, so half-point move towards the under. And when we get to the point spread here, we have here we go. We have Eastern Michigan minus 5.5. When this moved down, so this opened up 5.5, moved to 4.5. Several times it's moved to 4.5, and each time I was like, yes, it makes sense to me, and then it comes back. Acacia looking at Central Michigan. Joseph Gomez says EMU can only be taken as 5 to 10 point dog. Yeah, of course, Dizzy. However, anybody, it's we'll be there from Wednesday through to Monday. So anytime you want to roll. My dude says Central Michigan plus 5.5. Let's hear from you, Peter. Any interest in Chips Eagles in Ypsilanti, Michigan?
Well, probably not. I mean, Eastern Michigan, of course, has been great ATS this year, but as a dog, right? Not as a favorite. They're actually 3-4 ATS a favorite. They were one of these teams that's losing straight up, but covering. And then Central Michigan also, in general, great ATS, but not on the road. They lost 3 of their last 4 on the road, and I was pretty surprised that Eastern Michigan was this big of a favorite. I didn't understand it. I thought maybe there was some injury issue that I didn't know about. So it's a weird line. I'm going to pass. Seems like too many points, but maybe that tells me take Eastern Michigan. But then since I'm afraid of that, maybe take them on the money line, which is the wrong thing to do. Never take a big favorite money line because you're too afraid to take the spread. You're taking money lines. You're only taking volatility into account. So pass for me.
We have Billy Friedrich, Eastern Michigan 4-0 against the spread as a home dog. Now it says obviously they're a home favorite here, but something for the file. And I've copied and pasted that here. I've copied and pasted that. I want to make sure that I'm not missing any of our plays of the day from our cappers in the chat. Let's take a once over again here. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Doesn't look like I am. So let's roll on, Peter. So next up for us here. Sorry, move my notes. God, so many pages. Notes. Here we go. South Carolina Gamecocks. Coming off 6 straight losses, 9 and 10 games. And they were absolutely demolished on January 28th by Florida, 95-48. So here we are in Gainesville, Florida. We also have Rod Zwacky in the house. Great to see you. And Matty Ice says back Central at home, fade Central on the road. Free bet he would take Central Michigan, but he's off this game. Can't play Central Michigan on the road. And we have, I'm on the over, Dizzy, in that game. I haven't bet it yet. I'm deciding whether to take the time to put it in now and lose my focus or not. Rod Zwack said bet on Eastern Michigan versus good shooting teams making over 45% of their shots after 15 plus games. Eastern Michigan record since 2025, 12-1 against the spread. Los Judy on Florida over team total over 88.5 points. So South Carolina ranked 96th in the nation. Florida ranked 5th in the nation. South Carolina, I'm going to turn it into a 6, Dizzy. I'm not going to pay the VIG on the 5.5 personally. I would recommend doing that. If anybody needs help with that at all, our guy Ronnie Crawford, a long time ago, gave us the run line calculator that we all use here. I'll pop it in the chat. Thank you to Ron Crawford for always having our back. The Z code system here. I'll pop it into the chat. And shout out to our guy, Ronnie Crawford. So let's roll on here. South Carolina comes off their 6th straight loss, as I said. 89-75 at Alabama on Saturday, 17.5 point dogs. When they lost 95-48, Peter, they shot 26% from the field and 15% from 3. That made me interested in backing the Gamecocks first half. Dimitri looking at that 23+. We got Groovy Alien in the house. Florida comes in off their 5th straight win, 10th in 11 games, 92-83 at home versus Kentucky on Saturday is 12.5-point favorites. Look, they're a juggernaut. I mean, I'm not. If I was to move on South Carolina first half, it'd be very uncomfortably. We have this now at 23. This opened up at 22.5. This was 23.5 for a long time. Moved back to 23 at 10:15 a.m. this morning. And when we get to the total here for this one, here we go. From a total standpoint, we have a 155. So this opened up at 151 and climbed all the way up to 155.5, dropped down to 155. And Peter, when we get to the cash flow here, when we get to the cash flow, we have, here we go. We have 52% of the tickets, 72% of the cash on South Carolina, which is a bit of a surprise. 67% of tickets on the under, 53% cash on the over. I have South Carolina first half, question mark, Peter. What do you think of this spot?
Definitely going to pass. Just a little bit too crazy. It's an SEC game, but that could be fixed too. I'd fix this game if I could. Free play, I'd put it on the over or first half over, something like that. I'm not gonna touch it though.
Let's roll. So sorry, free play, you'd put it on first half over?
But why not?
7 p.m. Eastern. Let's head over to the ACC, the Lenovo Center, which brings back great memories of your Lenovo, Pete, when we were in Costa Rica. Do you still use Lenovo's?
I would. Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
You were a proud believer in Lenovo's back in the day. And now they have their own center in Raleigh, North Carolina. North Carolina ranked 28th. NC State ranked 31st, according to KenPom. Justin Mcelvy is NC State minus 6.5. By the way, Rod Zwacky says bet over the total in Florida games when they score 87 or more points in the game. The overs record 20 since 2024, 39-9. Wine time and Justin Mcelvy on the mighty Wolfpack here. On the Wolfpack. North Carolina comes in off their 6th win in 7 games, winning 79-65 at home over Pittsburgh on Saturday's 11.5-point favorites. This is their lone meeting with the Wolfpack this year. NC State's followed up 6 straight wins with back-to-back losses. They lost badly at Louisville, 188-77 8 days ago. They followed that up with a 77-76 home loss to Miami on Saturday as 5.5-point favorites. Monzi says, don't sleep on the Tar Heels, guys. And Billy Friedrich says, looking forward to going there when I see the next Canes home game. So he says the new View Bar will be open for the first time at the Lenovo Center. Let's take a look at the line history here and then hand this over to Mr. Loshak. We have this total of 157.5. Opened up at 158.5, has dropped to 157.5. And when we get to the point spread for this spot, Peter, we have NC State now minus 7.
Yeah,
that's a big number. Opened up at 6. They spent some time at 7 last night. Went down to 6. Now we're back at 7. This is a big number for NC State. Let's take a look at the cash flow we have here for this. This is a big one. Big one. We have 55% of tickets, 62% of cash on North Carolina. 66% of tickets on the over, 53% cash on the over. Take it away for us here. Peter Loshak, Tar Heels, Wolfpack in Raleigh, North Carolina. You like anything?
Well, I want to take NC State, but then the super high line made me a little. I guess it backed up what I was thinking. I like NC State here. I think I might use their first half money line in some kind of parlay, and I was also liking the under a bit, but now it looks like it's moving up. So maybe I'm wrong about that. But leaning under, leaning a little bit less so first half under. Definitely leaning on NC State first half, but I'm not going to take the 3.5. I mean, UNC is still, they've been covering and winning and everything. And, NC State off a couple of losses, they're better than that. But this is a lot of points, and especially forget about rivalry. This is just a lot of points. I was leaning under. I might give under anyway. And I'll probably use NC State first half in a some kind of money line parlay, like with San Diego State or something like that.
Yeah, it's very telling that this has moved to 7. Such a strong number here.
You know what? I'll make that official right now to start. I'll make NC State first half money line, San Diego State money line parlay. That's minus 220 for NC State, 240 for San Diego State. I'll make that official, and I'll probably add on the full game under as well.
And okay, sorry. Do you
I'll
have
send you
the
everything.
final
Go ahead.
number of that parlay?
Yeah, I'll give it to you in a second. But it's also like if one of them pushes, then it'll be a winner as well, just not a full unit. But all right, I will. That's an official play, and I'll throw on the under as well. Although that makes me nervous. Is anyone in the comment section saying be careful about the under?
Nobody is. Nordy on NC State plus 6.5, North Carolina, plus 6.5 and the money line. And we have Spooner on NC State minus 6 here.
Yeah, I mean, rather have 6 than 7, but yeah.
Yeah. No, I hear that. So are we moving on a first half?
Yeah, first half money line parlay with San Diego State, and I'll shop around for the total best I can find. Full game, not first half. Although I'll be really annoyed if Shenanigans makes it go over and the first half is under, but whatever, that's how it goes.
Let's roll on.
Yeah.
We head over to the A10, the mighty St. Louis Billikens, 24-1, 12-0, undefeated in A10 action. At Rhode Island Rams, 14-11, 5-7 in the A10. Thomas M. Ryan Center, Kingston, Rhode Island. Shout out to our guy, Nasty Nate. Let's see what's going on in that hockey game. Anyways, still 3-2, 5:40 left in that one. St. Louis comes in off their 18th straight win, 86-59. Oh, St. Louis ranked 23rd. Ken Palm, Rhode Island, 118th. St. Louis comes in off their 18th straight win, 86-59. Loyola Chicago on Friday, 17.5-point favorites. This is their lone meeting with Rhode Island this year. Rhode Island comes in off its second straight loss in third and 4 games, falling 70-66 at home to Fordham in overtime on Saturday as 4.5-point favorites. Billy Friedrich on St. Louis, first half minus 5.5, full game minus 10.5. Dizzy using the alt line for St. Louis to minus 12.5 at plus 132. Let's pull up the line history here for this one and then hand it over to Mr. Loshak. We have, here we go. We have St. Louis minus 10.5. They opened up at 10.5. This got up to 11.5. Now we're right back at 10.5. So no movement on the spread. Double-digit road favorite, undefeated in conference play. When we get to the total here, we have a 152. This one opened up at 149. It's just gone up. There's been no buyback at this point. It's just gone up, and away. And then when we get the cash flow for this spot, Peter, we have 58% of tickets, 60% of cash on St. Louis. We have no information on total. We do know, though, that Circa is hanging a flat 10. They opened this up at 11. They moved it to 12 at 9 this morning, and now it's a flat 10. They've done that with 78% of the tickets and 76% of the cash on the Billikens. Peter, you think Rhode Island can menace?
Yeah, I mean, St. Louis obviously much better, all things being equal. There's no reason why they shouldn't roll, but this kind of spot at this point in the season, and then the line movement that we're seeing, I'm not going to give it official, no way, but I might not tell anyone about it and bet Rhode Island, but I'm definitely not going to give that official.
Kong's Clip says, does Miami of Ohio go undefeated? Well, our very own Morgan Spooner has action on them to go undefeated. So because of that, he is on UMass plus 3.5 today. And, we'll go over the reasoning why he's moved on that one. Let's roll on. That's not our next spot. Our next spot is Moody Coliseum in Dallas, Texas, home of the SMU Mustangs. And we have a lot of action from cappers here in the chat. Justin McKelvey, we will start here. Stacks play of the day. Number 1 is SMU plus 4 at minus 110. Shout out to our guy, Justin McKelvey.
Stacks, 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 stacks.
Then we have our guy, Billy Friedrich, sweet pig milk. And Peter, he's taking it to the next level. He is SMU money line. SMU money line at plus 160 for our Billy Friedrich. We have twisted 24-7 on Louisville -4. We have Kong's Clips on Louisville -3.5. Louisville first half. Louisville moneyline and Brown Jr. 3 plus threes at +130. So we have cappers on either side of the equation for this one. Peter, let's set it up. Louisville ranked 14th. Ken Palm, SMU 38th. Louisville 8-4 in conference play. SMU 6-6. Louisville comes in off their fifth straight win, 82-71 over Baylor at Dickies Arena in Fort Worth. So neutral court, sort of, as 7.5-point favorites. Louisville started this win streak defeating SMU 88-74 at home back on January 31st as 9.5-point favorites. SMU had their two-game winning streak snapped in a 79-78 loss at Syracuse on Saturday as 1.5-point favorites. Let's pull up the line history here for this one, Pete. First off, this total is a 166.5. Opened up 166, got up to 167, down to 165.5. We've moved overall a half point to the over at 166.5. From a point spread standpoint here, in this one, we have, here we go. We have a 4. We're sitting here with the 4. This was the opener. SMU opened up at +4. This got up to 4.5, down to 3.5, and we're at 4 right now. Overall, there's been 5 cents of movement towards the Louisville Cardinals. And when we get to cash flow, 64% of the tickets on Louisville, 53% of the cash, 67% of tickets on the under, 69% of cash on the under. Peter, Loshak, any love for this one?
Yeah, I was definitely leaning SMU, although it's scary just because Louisville off of 2 really nice wins and covers, and that might have been fluky, but also this freshman guy, Michael Brown, is like really playing great. Especially if you have a freshman like that, sometimes, they might be like not just had a couple of, unusually good games. They might be turning a serious corner. So I'm definitely scared of Louisville, but leaning SMU first half, probably full game as well, and probably team total over as well. Scary to fade Louisville, though.
It is. I'm going to look in this a little longer. And so as I said, when I went over Kong's action, he's also going to be on Mkel Brown Jr.'s 4 threes at +198.
Yeah.
Here for this one. Let's talk about the undefeated 22nd ranked Miami of Ohio Redhawks here. They're ranked 22nd in the nation. They're ranked 85th, according to KenPom. Going up against the UMass Minutemen, 15-11, 6-7 in the MAC. We're at Mullen Center in Amherst, Massachusetts.
Jim,
Yeah.
SMU first half +2, -110. I'll make it official. Go.
Okay. SMU first half +2 from Loshak in business. Wine time on UMass +150. Matty Ice on UMass. Stephen Fehrenbach, our guy Stephen Fair, placed second. And it was just the total. He tied for first, came second in our confidence pool. Shout out to our guy, Stephen Fair in the house. Lucky lefty on UMass first half here.
Actually, Jim, it's -108 for the SMU pick.
Cool. You got it, buddy. We have Loshak moving on SMU first half +2. SMU first half +2. And 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. We cash it all in Czech Denmark. Cash the under. Cash Denmark +2. Cash the first period under. Cash it all. All right, let's roll on. I let my guy Nasty Nate down when he was at Foxwoods this weekend with my Olympic action. So he rolled with me on Denmark. I need some winners for our guy Nasty Nate. I feel bad. Cash it all. Let's roll. Next up here, as I was saying, Miami of Ohio Redhawks, UMass Minutemen. So 100 rankings difference is Miami of Ohio ranked 85th at KenPom, UMass 185th. Redhawks coming up their 25th straight win, a 90-74 victory at home over Ohio on Friday, 7.5-point favorites. Now they barely got past UMass. 86-84 at home back on January 27th is 9.5-point favorites. UMass comes in off their second straight loss, 99-92 at Akron on Friday as 12.5-point dogs. Akron ranked 63rd, I believe. We'll go over them in a little bit, but quite a bit higher than the Red Hawks, according to Ken Palm. Let's get into this line history. Dizzy Donuts been making bank backing them. We had a wild move down to 7.5 in that Miami of Ohio Miami game. We had Justin Mcelvy easily cash Miami of Ohio first half in that one, despite the line moving against them. No fear there. We have Miami of Ohio sitting here -3. They opened up -3, went down to 2 for a while. Now we're right back at 3. There's been a 5-cent move towards UMass. When we get to the total for this spot here, we have here we go. We have a 162. This one opened up at 163.5. Interestingly enough, it got up to 165 really early before it dropped heavily down to 161. 1 point of buyback to 162. And when we get to the cash here, and also let me add one other thing to this here very, very quickly, Peter. When we get to this cash flow, we have 71% of the tickets on Miami of Ohio, just 54% of the cash, 66% of tickets on the over, but 82% of cash on the under. And it's really speaking here. This cash flow is really, really speaking. Nice job, Jose Perez. That was beautiful. This is from Spooner. He says, UMass is less of an edge play and more of a hedge on his Miami of Ohio futures. A 3-point middle for him. Peter Loshak, take it away. Maction in Amherst, Massachusetts.
Well, I'm also going to add SMU team total over 81.5 -113. This one here, I don't know, maybe a live bet. Miami of Ohio pulling shit out. UMass covered at Akron in the last game. Free bet, and of course they played earlier and UMass lost by 2 as a double-digit dog at Miami almost. So free play, yeah, I'd put it on UMass, but definitely not betting that.
I get it. I don't think I want to be there. I don't want to, look, I hear what you guys are saying. It does really appear like it's the sharp line. I don't know if I have the balls to move on it. Let's talk about the next spot on the board here. The Horned Frogs, Peter. I've moved on them. This is a team playing very good right now. A team moving in the right direction. Now, here they are on the road in Orlando, Florida. This is a tough place to play. Here we go. By the way, Twisted 24/7 says, simple to me. UMass been playing a bit better, but it's Miami of Ohio, no doubt the better of the two teams so far. I would need -4.5 or so to be on UMass, so give me Miami of Ohio -3, says our guy Twisted 24/7. We have these teams ranked very closely. TCU ranked 50th, KenPom. UCF ranked 52nd. TCU comes in off their third straight win, 95-92 in overtime at Oklahoma State on Saturday as 1.5 point favorites. This is their lone meeting with UCF. UCF comes in off their third straight loss, 74-67 at home to West Virginia on Saturday as 3.5 point favorites. Let's take a look at the line history for this one. We'll start with the total. It's at a 155. Opened up at 154.5, got up to 155, down to 154, back up to 155, a half-point move towards the over. And when we get to the point spread for this spot, we have TCU plus 1.5 at -113. They opened up at +2. In 10 minutes, they moved to +3. Then 20 minutes after that, they were down to +1.5. A lot of movement, got up to 2.5, down to a 1.5. I've been concerned with my VIG in college basketball. It's higher than in other sports. Shout out to Wine Time Sports, gifting a Pub Sports Radio membership to Rod Zawacki. Thank you guys for supporting us here. Loshak in the bag, back in business. Matty Ice on UCF money line says UCF get right game. This TCU team lost in New Orleans by 4 home earlier this year. A lot can change over the course of a few months, but come on. That's fair. That is fair. When we get to the cash flow here, we have 61% of the tickets, 70% of the cash on UCF. Circus moved this down to a 1, Pete. I just took the money line at +105 on TCU. I just see a team putting it all together right now. Take it away for us here, Pete. Horned Frogs, UCF Knights.
Okay, first of all, again, I don't know what books I'm allowed to mention, but I'm using big books. The SMU team total over 81.5 -110. I'm all seeing SMU first half +2.5 -120. I don't know if I should take that, but I guess I won't. I'll just take the 2 -108. This one, it could go south, but I definitely like UCF here. Probably full game. First half, maybe a little bit more. Gonna make UCF first half official. Do they, it's a little bit questionable if they have it in them to bounce back, but I think they probably do. If they don't, all right, I'll eat a loss. But, TCU going on the road and then not letting down at Oklahoma State is pretty impressive, as far as a team that just has a good constitution. But I'm going to take UCF here first half.
And what did you get?
I will shop around right now.
Shout out to Kong's Clips, following Wine Time, gifting a Pub Sports Radio membership. Our guy, Lucky Lefty, getting it. Thank you, guys. It means the world to us. Respect. Thank you, guys. We roll on. We head back to the MAC. Return of the MAC. Kent State Golden Flashes, 19-7, 10-3 in the MAC. A Bowling Green Falcons, 16-10, 7-6 in the MAC. Stroh Center, Bowling Green, Ohio. Kent State ranked 147th. Bowling Green ranked 140th, according to Ken Palm. Let's get the line history up for this one, Peter. We have Kent State +3. They opened up +2. 31 minutes later, it was a 3, got down to 2.5, back to 3, got up to a 3.5 just before that was midnight last night, my bad. And then now it's a 3. So we've had a 1-point move towards Bowling Green. From a total standpoint here, we have, here we go. From a total standpoint, we have a 151. This opened up at 149.5, got up to 152 before dropping down to 151. Twisted 24/7 is on Kent State Bowling Green over 151.5, and he's on Kent State +3. When we get to the cash flow for this Kent State Bowling Green spot, we have 67% of the tickets, 73% of cash on Kent State. Now, Circa is holding a 3, while a bunch of books around them are hanging 2 and halves. Kent State comes in off their second straight win, 3rd in 4 games, 75-68. Ball State on Saturday is 7.5-point favorites, and they barely got past Bowling Green. 96-93 at home is 3.5-point favorites back on January 6th. Bowling Green comes in off their second straight win and 3rd in 4 games, 80-70 at home over Toledo on Saturday is 3.5-point favorites. I'm interested in Bowling Green, Peter. Did you move on this one, or do you have interest in moving on this one?
No, and by the way, the big sharp book UCF first half money line -113. This one definitely leaning Bowling Green, but didn't pull the trigger on it. Not much movement, which is okay. Leaning Bowling Green though, for sure.
I may get there. Billy Friedrich says something to consider. Stillwell, Pacheco, and Cambridge all questionable for UCF. We have our guy Christopher Tatum on Virginia Tech, Grand Canyon +8.5, Virginia Tech +8.5, and Kent State +3.5. Christopher, thank you for sharing that with us. I'm gonna copy and paste that. And Billy says he may buy off of his position on UCF. Well, that is music to my ears. Oh, but I forgot here, and very, very important. I got to go back to our cappers action. Here we have Spooner on Kent State +3.5 and Spooner on UCF money line. Wow, dangerous. You don't want to be on the other side of him. Let's roll on to our next spot on the board.
I wasn't aware of any significant injuries for UCF. That's not good. Okay.
Roll. Here we go. We head back to the MAC. Ball State Cardinals 8-17, 3-9 in the MAC at the Ohio Bobcats 13-13, 7-6 MAC Convocation Center in Athens, Ohio. Ball State ranked 324th, according to Ken Palm. 104 spots ahead is Ohio, 220th. Our guy Wager Detective, love it, man. Let's get it. Ball State comes in off their second straight loss, 4th in 5 games, falling 75-68 at home. First Kent State on Saturday, 7.5-point dogs. Ball State defeated Ohio 76-71 at home back on January 16th as 5.5-point dogs. Ohio comes in off their second straight loss, 90-74 at Miami of Ohio on Friday as 7.5-point dogs. Let's pull up the line history for Ball State, Ohio. First off, this total sitting at 143.5. It opened up at 141. 3 hours and 5 minutes later, it jumped 2 points and juiced to 143. It's now at 143.5. We get to the point spread here for this one. We have, I think I just blew past it here for the, where the hell is Ball State? I apologize. On the spread, come on. We have Ball State plus 9.5. Opened up at 9. Initially, after it had been around for 21 minutes, dropped to 8.5. Then 2 hours later, it's got up to a 10. Now it's at 9.5. Peter, they are saying this is an Ohio smash and grab. We have no information on the side. We know 90% of tickets on the over, 72% of cash on the over. The legal American books are all hanging 9.5. So nobody stepped out of that number. Peter, take it away. Ball State Cardinals, Ohio Bobcats. Floor is yours.
Yeah,
Shout out to our
maybe.
guy BT in the house.
Maybe it is an Ohio smash and grab. Parlay this with New Mexico money line, something like that. Yeah, I mean, Ball State definitely a subpar ATS recently. Ohio also, though, 2 nice covers a few games ago, but mostly they've been losing. But high line, yeah, definitely the market saying Ohio smash and grab.
We stay in the MAC. Akron Zips 20-5, 11-1 in conference play. As I talked about earlier, ranked quite a bit higher than the undefeated and 22nd ranked nationally Miami of Ohio Redhawks. Akron ranked 68th right now. We're at University Arena in Kalamazoo, Michigan, home of the Western Michigan Broncos, 9-16, 3-9 in the MAC. Akron ranked 68th, 211 points. 211 rankings below them is Western Michigan, 279th. Akron bounced back from their 79-69 loss at Troy by beating UMass at home 99-92 on Friday. Now, they were 12.5-point favorites. I mean, do you consider that a legit bounce back? That is up to you. Akron beat Western Michigan 104-89 at home back on January 17th. They didn't cover that one. They were 21.5-point favorites. Western Michigan snapped their 4-game losing streak with a 76-62 victory on the road over Eastern Michigan, 6.5-point dogs on Saturday. Let's pull up the line history here for this Akron spot. Akron sitting at minus 14 right now. They opened up minus 15.5. 21 minutes later, this was a 14.5. 3 hours after that, it was a 13.5. That turned out to be the low water mark at this point. Got up to 14.5, now at 14. A 1.5 move towards Western Michigan. When we get to the total for this one, we have a 159. It's opened up at 160, dropped down to 158.5, got up to 159. And then when we get to the cash flow for this spot, we have, oh man, sorry, I'm just overloaded with games. Here we go. 67% of the tickets, 54% of the cash on Western Michigan, 60% of tickets on the under, 81% of cash on the over. Here we have Circa hanging a 14, DraftKings and FanDuel 14.5. Peter Loshak, take it away.
Yeah, this is a tough one. Pass. Definitely free play would be on Western Michigan, but Akron obviously much better. But that last double-digit win at Eastern Michigan for Western Michigan, pretty impressive. Where's the line right now? 13.5 is what I opened. The first line I saw.
This is a 14 right now.
Yeah. See, there you go. Free play,
but
Western
I
Michigan.
had it opening at 15.5 over.
Yeah, no, pass for me.
Yeah, it does not appeal to us. Shout out to the great Rod Zawacki gifting 5 Pub Sports Radio memberships. What a guy. Matty Ice, Mike Rowe, 94. Justin Casey and Rudy Cisneros all receiving them. Thank you guys, man. Thank you, Rod. It means a ton to us. 5 Pub Sports Radio memberships, the gift from the great Rod Zawacki. Let's roll on here. We have George Washington Revolutionaries, 15-11, 6-7 in the A10 at the VCU Rams, 20-6, 11-2 in the A10. We're at Siegel Center, Richmond, Virginia. We have George Washington ranked 76th in the nation. VCU ranked 46th in the nation. George Washington comes in off their second straight win. You guys all called it, 72-53 at home over George Mason on Fridays, 3.5-point favorites. This is their lone meeting with VCU. VCU comes in off their 9th straight win, 78-67 at Richmond on Saturdays, 7.5-point favorites. VCU is rolling right now. Man, do they look tough. This total is sitting at 161.5. Opened up at 163.5. We've dropped 2 points. There's never been buyback towards the over. It's just dropped. It's dropped twice at this book. And then when we get to the spread, we have VCU minus 6.5. This opened up 6.5. 21 minutes later, it was a 7. And that was a high watermark. We're sitting back at 6.5. Overall, just a 2-cent move towards VCU. That's a bit surprising. When we get to the cash flow for this one, 65% of the tickets, 79% of the cash on George Washington. Wow. Even that's a bit of a surprise. Peter Loshak, are you going to get in the way of the mighty Rams?
I would love to take VCU, but George Washington off a very impressive, win. Definitely leaning VCU again. First half money line kind of deal on parlays, but I'm not going to take that. This is questionable in my opinion.
Matty Ice says, since you and Pete are back on screen together, can we get a low bag parlay to end the show? Absolutely.
Sure.
Absolutely. Let me copy and paste that here. So we have a very interesting spot on our next game here. Shout out to Jason Meyer, the Eldorado custodian in the house. Virginia Tech Hokies, 17-9, 6-7 in the ACC at the Miami Hurricanes, 20-5, 9-3 in the ACC. We're in Coral Gables, Florida for this one. We head back to our action from Cappers in the chat. We have Spooner on Virginia Tech, and that was not all. We have, where is it? I have another capper here on Virginia Tech. I believe it is Billy Friedrich, but I'm going to have to look a little bit harder here. So that is the situation. We have cappers on Virginia Tech. And Spooner says Virginia Tech line immediately moved against me. Says 8.5 with low vig, even a 9 last night. He says, glad to see it come back. Let's talk about the spot here. Billy Friedrich says Virginia Tech is dead to him. So who? I'll find it. I know there's somebody else. Sorry, I didn't mean to put you there on that one, Billy. I will find it. But let's set this table up for Peter Loshak here. Hokies, Hurricanes. Virginia Tech ranked 65th, according to Ken Palm. Miami ranked 37th. Virginia Tech comes in off their third loss in 4 games. An ugly 92-69 loss at home to Florida State is 4.5-point favorites. Ugly. This is their lone meeting with the Hurricanes. Miami comes in off their third straight win, 5th in 6 games, 77-76 at NC State on Saturday as 5.5-point dogs. Let's set this one up. Miami sitting at -8. Miami opened up at -8. Took 6 hours before it moved to 8.5. That was juiced, but then it came back to an 8, which is where it is now. Overall, we've had 3 cents of movement towards Virginia Tech. Let's go to the total for this spot. From a total standpoint, we have a 149.5. This one opened up at 150.5. It didn't move for 21 hours. 11:06 a.m. is when it moved to 149.5. A 1-point move towards the under. Big Zo says Tech taking steam on his book. Let's take a look at the cash flow and see if this helps us from a cash flow standpoint. And we have V Tech with 69% of the tickets, 64% of the cash. I see a 7.5 at FanDuel and DraftKings, 8 at a bunch of the other books, 7.5 at Hard Rock, 7.5 at BetMGM. We have 83% of tickets on the over, 95% of cash on the over. Peter Loshak, what are you thinking here? Los Chudi on VTech +9. Yeah. What do you think?
Definitely liking Virginia Tech. I definitely hit the first half. I'll make that official right now. 4.5 -115 is the worst I can get. I'll shop around, see if I can get a little bit better. But definitely Virginia Tech first half +4.5 -115, and probably full game is good as well.
I'm interested. I'm very, very interested in joining you fellas. I don't know if I will focus on the first half or the full game, but very interested in joining you fellas. Let's roll on.
Actually, -112. -112.
Sure. Let's switch up to -112. We roll on. Next up for us, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, we head to the Breslin Center in East Lansing, Michigan. UCLA Bruins, 17-8, 9-5 in the Big Ten. At the Michigan State Spartans, 20-5, 10-4 in the Big Ten. UCLA ranked 42nd, according to Ken Palm. Michigan State ranked 13th, and both teams coming off ugly losses. Let's pull up the line history here for our next big one. This totals a 139.5. Opened up at 138.5, got up to 140. It's still a 1-point move towards the over. From a point spread standpoint, we have, here we go. We have Michigan State -8.5. Opened up at 8.5. Got up. Now, there was a ton of movement early. I don't know how much to put into it. They're saying that this moved to 10.5, 10 minutes later. 30 minutes later, it's back to 8.5. I don't know how much we want to put into that. But this did move to 9.5 at 9:30 p.m. Stayed that way till midnight. Then it moved back to 8.5, which is where we are now. Overall, there's been a 3-cent move towards the UCLA Bruins. Billy Friedrich on UCLA, team total under 65.5, and Michigan State minus 8.5. When we get to the cash flow for this spot, we have 77% of tickets and 86% of cash on Michigan State. Line is not moving towards them, although Caesars has a 9, but South Point has an 8. Rest of the books are sitting at 8.5. 72% of tickets on the under, 61% cash on that very under. UCLA comes in off an 86-56 loss at Michigan on Saturday's 15.5-point dogs. They were outscored 46-18 in the second half. This is their lone meeting with Michigan State. Michigan State comes in off their third loss in 4 games, 92-71 at Wisconsin on Friday's 1.5-point favorites. Take it away for us, Peter Loshak, UCLA, Michigan State.
Yeah, this is a very scary one. Two teams, it's games when there's two teams that are going to be salty and looking to bounce back. It's a super high line, and I was thinking maybe the under, but total's so low, leaning under and first half under. Total I saw was 139.5. I'd lean that way, but I don't think I can make it. I don't think I can make it official, but definitely leaning unders.
Very, very, very interesting spot. It makes me uncomfortable. Both teams coming off of terrible losses. I don't find it appealing. Let's move on to the next spot on the board. We have Spooner on whiskey. We have 9 Legacy on whiskey. The 24 ranked Wisconsin Badgers, 18-7, 10-4 in the Big Ten. At the Ohio State Buckeyes, 16-9, 8-6 in the Big Ten. We're at Value City Arena in Columbus, Ohio. Wisconsin ranked 32nd, according to Ken Palm, while Ohio State is ranked 40th. Wisconsin comes in off their 4th win in 5 games. Very impressive 92-71 victory at home over Michigan State as 1.5-point dogs. Remember, that was we finally arrived. And our guy Wine Time been waiting for this for a long time. We finally got to the corner of Wine Time and Goracle Avenue. And it was an easy blowout casher. This is their lone meeting with Ohio State this year. Ohio State comes in off their second loss in 3 games, 70-66 to Virginia. Now, that game was at Bridgestone Arena in Nashville on Saturday as part of the Nashville Hoops Showdown. They were 5.5-point dogs. Low shooting on Wisconsin money line. Matty Ice says perfect spot for Ohio State. They need this game bad. Wine Time, by the way, is on UCLA plus 8.5. Los Judy is on Wisconsin money line. Wine Time says, I love this whiskey team, but I also know that Ohio State plays their best ball at home and they desperately need this game. We have Rod Zawacki on Ohio State money line. We have Matty Ice on Ohio State money line. Twisted is on whiskey. So we have cappers on either side of the fence here, Peter. Let's set up this line history. We got whiskey minus 1.5 right now. They opened up +1. It didn't take long to go to -1. It took about 2.5 hours. After the line was available for 21 minutes, it became a pick 'em. They got up to -2 at 6:30 this morning. Now whiskey's -1.5. They've gone from dog to favorite. When we get to the total for this one, we have 157.5. This opened up at 158.5. It got down to 156.5 at 11 p.m. last night. We're back at 157.5. When we get to the cash flow here for this one, we get to the cash flow. We have 62% of the tickets and 94% of the cash on Wisconsin. 79% of tickets on the under and 92% of cash on that under. Matty I says, if Ohio State loses this game, Thornton doesn't make the big dance. Again, huge game coming for Thornton, too. Matty I says, Thornton over 1.5 threes is also a look. Justin McKelvey's got Ohio State in his pocket. Wow, Peter, what an interesting spot. Are you moving on this one to Value City Arena in Columbus, Ohio?
Yeah, I don't know. If I got Ohio State +5 -110, I would pound the living hell out of that. But it's just, are they good enough? I mean, Wisconsin's a very impressive team. And I'm just not sure if Ohio State really has what it takes here, you know? They have what it takes to cover against good teams, but to win, maybe they do. I hope everyone who's on Ohio, I want to take Ohio State, but I just can't.
Well, we roll on. Drewski in the house. It is great to see you. Our next spot on the board comes with notes from our guys. So let me go back to those notes and they are, I believe, right up here. And yes. My dude says, I love Fresno State plus 8.5. Love Fresno State plus 8.5 from my dude. I thought I had more here. Matty I says, I'm surprised you're not on Ohio State with how good Wisconsin shot the ball last game versus Michigan State. I'm just scared of the spot here at this point. I don't believe I'm finished with it. I hesitate, Matty Ice, to at this time of year to think that, it just seems like some teams are getting in the right moving in the right direction. I see why Ohio State appeals at this point, and I have copied and pasted all the notes, so there will be more action here for me. FB Gotti says, where do you see the line movements? Look, FB Gotti, I don't want to talk about some of these sites that that aren't us here. But if you are on, there's lots of different sites to do this, to follow line moves. If you are on X, hit me up and I'll give you the best sites that I use for the legal books and the best sites for the offshores, and I'll hook you all up. But I feel a little uncomfortable promoting sites that couldn't give a fuck about us.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you're on X, please hit me and I'll give you all the info here. So let's roll on here to this next spot on the board. Tom Kite says, pretty sure I heard both the Fresno starting guards weren't playing here. Gregorio Ruiz says Fresno State has guard injuries here. Fresno State Bulldogs 12-13, 6-8 in the Mountain West at Wyoming. Cowboys 13-12, 4-10 in the Mountain West. Laramie, Wyoming here for this one. Fresno ranked 122nd according to Ken Palm, and Wyoming ranked 98th according to Ken Palm here. Let's pull up the line history for this Fresno State spot. First off, the total 145 opened up at 147. Interestingly enough, this got up to 149 at 9:30 p.m. before this massive drop, or 4-point drop from the high water mark down to 145. When we get to the point spread here for this spot, let me get down here. We have Wyoming minus 9.5. It is growing. Opened up at 8. It took 21 minutes to get to 9. At 7:30 p.m., this was a 9.5. Now at 2 a.m., it got back to 8.5. We're sitting here at a 9.5 right now. And when we get to the cash flow, 60% of tickets and 94% of the cash on Wyoming. Circa's got a 9. Superbook has a 9.5. 82% of tickets on the under. 94% of the cash on the under. Fresno State snapped their 2-game losing streak with a 93-63 victory at home over Air Force on Saturday. It's 14.5-point favorites. Now we know Air Force doesn't have a win in the Mountain West yet this year. They defeated Wyoming at home back on January 17th, 63-60 as 3.5-point dogs. Wyoming comes in off their third straight loss, falling 79-68 at Colorado State on Saturday as 3.5-point dogs here. Chang say, what app can I subscribe to so I can watch all sports, all games? Is there one, or is anyone in the chat can help? I mean, I'm pretty bad with that side of things. I'm sure other people have. I've gone over to a bunch of friends' houses. Tim Steves had the most beautiful one. So many have they get every single sporting game that exists on a. Maybe Pete can help. I know there's cappers in the chat that can help as well. Take it away for us here, Peter. But I see if I can help if nobody does here, Chang, because there's lots of things that you can get, plug into the wall, and have everything. Take it away here, Pete. Fresno State, Wyoming Cowboys.
All right. First of all, sorry about that Galatasaray first half plus a quarter. They were up, but then they blew it. I'm taking them +1 minus 131 for the rest of the game as well. We'll see. All right. So yeah, this one is Fresno. Obviously has been awesome ATS, but there are some questions as far as their injuries are concerned here. I guess I would be leaning Fresno just because they've been such a ATS juggernaut, but it's going to be a pass for me.
Well, Peter, I get it. There's a ton of volatility with the injuries. Billy Friedrich says both teams with injuries. in this one that says Douglas out for Fresno. Highbrider is questionable. Says Wyoming's without Belich, Harris, Gores, and Magassa are questionable. So a lot of things here. Let's go talk about our next spot on the board. And red alert, Peter. Red alert. The Taint play of the day is here on the UT Martin Skyhawks. We are at Kathleen and Tom Elam Center in Martin, home of the UT Martin Skyhawks. And our guy, Matty Ice, Taint play of the day is the UT Martin Skyhawks. UT, and he gave that to us here, I believe. God, just too many pages of notes here. I believe that was a 2.5. I want to say, Matty Ice. Yes, a minus 2.5. Big revenge game at home with conference on the line. Says, give me my Skyhawks. Lucky Lefty says, sounds about right with UT Martin. Let's set this one up for Peter. Taint has been very good to us, Pete. SEMO is a good basketball team, though. 16-11, 11-5 in the OVC. UT Martin, 20-7, 12-4. SEMO ranked 229th, according to Ken Palm. UT Martin, 196th here. SEMO bounced back from their 74-56 loss at SIU Edwardsville by winning their 7th in 8 games, 73-61 at Lindenwood as 1.5-point dogs. They beat UT Martin 66-50 at home back on January 20th as 2.5-point favorites. They were up 40-20 at the half. They slapped UT Martin in the face. UT Martin snapped their 2-game losing streak with an 81-76 victory at SIU Edwardsville on Saturday's 1.5-point favorites. Let's pull up the line history here for this one because it is intriguing to join Taint on UT Martin here. Sitting at minus 2.5. I see some other sharp books at 3. This opened up at 2.5. Didn't quickly move. Sorry. It took about 7 hours to move to 3. Got up to 3.5 multiple times last night. Now we're back at 2.5. Sitting here at 2.5. From a total standpoint here, we have a 140. This opened up at 140.5. Got up to 141.5. We're sitting here at 140 right now. And then when we get to the cash flow for this spot, we have 73% of the tickets, 79% of the cash on SEMO. 2.5s right across the board. No information on the total. Peter Loshak. Matty I says, UT Martin's been one of my teams all year. I know and follow this team very well. They've been champing at this moment for weeks. He says this game will also go under. Take it away, Peter.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree. I like UT Martin. I understand the spread. I also like the under. I don't understand the total, why this total is where it is. But yeah, I like UT Martin. First half full game and under. First half full game.
Yeah, I get it. Rod Zwacky says, but under the total in UT Martin games as a home favorite or pick. The under's record during the 2026 season, 9-0. I agree with you, T. Martin, man.
Yeah, I just don't get it. I don't quite understand why the total is where it is, but, okay.
Are you moving on either of these spots?
Yeah, I'll move on a bunch of these. I'll let you know, and I'll quote the lines in a sec here, Jim.
We have a question as well. Drewski, it's not a silly question. He says, what is Taint? Do you have the answer for that, Peter?
I'm not really sure myself, to be perfectly honest.
It's a little flap of skin, buddy.
Oh, okay.
Just a little flap of skin. A little flap of skin. See, there we go. There is our guy, Fat Wally. This is the second. So this must have happened on Friday because we had the, Daytona 500. Everybody asking what Wally's action is. And it's not here in our YouTube chat, but it's coming up here in our multiple streams, our StreamYard chat. our guy Wally now. So can you put that up one more time here for us, Jose? Our guy Wally, 35 days till we are rocking with you, man. 36 days till we're in San Antonio. We need Wally in our lives, man. More Wally. Yes, it's the little flap of skin. Little flap of skin. Just that tiny little flap of skin. Yes, Drewski. Great question here. Let's roll on, Peter Loshak. I want to read. See, I can't even see. Oh, there we go. Oh, yeah. Wow, what a God! I love it, Wally, and thank you. And Jose, keep me aware because I missed this action on Friday, and of course, we had cappers wanting to know what Wally was on, and I didn't know about it. 9 p.m. Eastern is our next spot on the board, Peter, and I moved on the Iowa Hawkeyes first half. Carver Hawkeye Arena in Iowa City, Iowa. Nebraska Cornhuskers ranked 9th in the nation, ranked 11th according to Ken Palm. 22-3, 11-3 in the Big Ten. Lucky Lefty says taint so pretty on a woman. I remember when we were back in Costa Rica, there are sites that say that men don't have taints, that only women have taints. And again, there's another time for this. We'll have this debate another time. Nebraska bounced back off their 80-77 overtime loss at home to Purdue by beating Northwestern 68-49 at home on Saturday as 13.5-point favorites. This is the first of 2 meetings with Iowa this year. Iowa has followed up a 6-game winning streak with back-to-back losses. They lost 77-70 at Maryland, followed by losing badly 78-57 at home to Purdue on Saturday's 2.5-point dogs. They shot 38% from the field and 27% from 3. Can't they come back here and fire here? I mean, I'm on them first half, deal with whatever consequences come my way here. I've got a ton of stuff I want to add now after breaking down the card with you guys. This total's a 139.5, opened up at 137.5. We've climbed 2 points. And then on the point spread here for this one, here we go on the spread. We have, here we go. We have Iowa -1. They opened up at +1.5. Got up to -1.5 several times. Right now it's a -1. Again, I'm only on them first half. Wine Time says Iowa money line 2 units. Lucky Left says over. And Matty I says he's not moved on total because it opened so high and he couldn't understand why. Acacia Miss Smokes a lot is on the over. And when we get to the cash flow for the Nebraska spot, 52% of the tickets, 81% of the cash on Nebraska. 69% of tickets on the over, 59% cash on the over. Peter Loshak, what do you think of my Iowa first half look? And do you have interest in this game?
Yeah, I like it. I mean, this is like a carbon copy as far as betting is concerned with the Ohio State game, right? I think Iowa's the play. Probably like in first half a bit more because Nebraska is pretty deep, does Iowa have the person that's the same, is Iowa good enough to bounce back? Probably. But it makes you feel nervous,
It does, which is, the reason why I'm focusing on the first half here, because I want them to throw the first punch and I want it to handle it. So I'm on the Hawkeyes first half. Wine Time moving on them as well. It's great. Loshak in the bag back together. So many of our friends with our big special plays of the day have come in and delivered. We've heard from Taint. We've heard from Stacks. We've heard from Pig Milk. And now we've heard from Spreadsheet play of the day. Our guy Ronnie Crawford is on the Baylor Bears. Spreadsheet's Baylor -3. While Kansas State has been falling apart, their head coach Tang was fired, and fired with cause, which is ludicrous. And the AD said it was because of what he said about the student section. All he said was, they asked him, you saw the people in the student section wearing bags over their heads. He said, I would wear a bag over my head too. That's all he said. That's not cause. And the Kansas State's going to get sued, and Tang's going to get all the money. Here we have a very interesting spot. because of the firings. And I talked about this here with our guy Spooner. And Spooner talks about how Tang was fired and they're not going to pay the rest of his contract. Baylor is coached by Scott Drew. Tang coached under Scott Drew for 20 years. This is from our guy Morgan Spooner. He says Drew mentioned their families are family. He says he's looking forward to seeing his old friend before the game. So he thinks that out of anger, Scott Drew and Baylor are going to smash Kansas State. And that the idea of the coach being fired bounce will not come to fruition here. North Florida's old coach Driscoll is taking over. He is the offensive coordinator hired this year. He is taking over. So there's a lot going on in this one, and our Morgan Spooner is on Baylor as well. Jose Perez is on Baylor. So Matty Guy says, I can't bet this game, wanted Baylor, but with all this shit going on with this Kansas State team, might be motivated now that Tang is out. So very, very, very wonderful stuff from Spooner, just to add layers to an already interesting game. Shout out to our great friend, Morgan Spooner. We have Ronnie Crawford and Morgan Spooner on Baylor foregoing the new coach bounce. Let's talk about what's gone on with this Baylor team. Losers of 3 straight. They lost at Iowa State 72-69. They played their hearts out. They lost at home to BYU 99-94 and lost at home to Louisville 82-71. If you're going to have L's on your card, well, Iowa State, BYU, Louisville, I mean, you could lose to worse teams. Now, they are just 3-9 in the Big 12. And look, we always back the teams with the new coach, but is this a time where we don't want to? This opened up at -4. Now it's -3.5. We've had a half-point move towards Kansas State. When we get to the total here for this one, we have this total now sitting at 159.5. This opened up at 162.5, got up to 163. I mean, sure, we're going to see heightened defensive intensity, but Justin says Spooner's breakdown made me bet Baylor -3.5 early this morning. Rod Zwaggy said bet against Kansas State in home games versus teams who attempted 21 or more threes on the season. Kansas State record during the 2026 season 0-10 against the spread. Take it away for us, Peter. Here, Spooner says he sees a juice 2.5. He's debating a second unit. What are your thoughts?
First of all, I can quote some UT Martin lines. Full game money line -148. First half money line -138. And I'm going to take the full game under 140.5 -114. And leaning SEMO team total under, but I won't. Yeah.
Sorry, can you give me those again? Sorry, I need those again one more time, Peter.
Okay, I'll also, send them to you, but
cool.
Full game money line -148, first half money line -138, and the full game under 140.5 -114, and leaning SEMO team total under 68.5, but I'll pass on that. Something weird with this total.
Roll on.
Yeah, the Baylor game obviously was going to be a total pass for me unless I heard from people who are more plugged in than I am. And, Baylor's probably, obviously Kansas State sucks, right? We usually think of Kansas State as having a very nice home court advantage. Well, they're 0-7 ATS in their last 7 home games, and Baylor, is a tough, scrappy team. So Baylor might be a great play here.
Yeah. It goes against, what we've done so often, but the reasoning makes sense to me. Like I really really like the thought process that Spooner used here, moving on Baylor, and I'm very interested. So I very interested. If this line keeps moving to Kansas State, I guess it's just all the better at this point. So.
All right, I'll add Baylor, but I'll bet them. But can I add that to my? Because I'm just basically copying Spooner and other guys. Can I do that?
Yes. There's people believe varying things here. If you are trusting Baylor, you believe in the breakdown from Spooner, then I see no problem with it.
Right. I mean, I definitely on my note was like, unless I hear from someone else.
Godfather says Tang firing was crazy. The angle that Baylor wants to embarrass them is such a sweet bet.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to bet it. I don't know if I should be allowed to add that to my official record, but what do you think? Capping the cappers?
Hey, I mean, if you added a loss capping the cappers, it would be the same deal, right?
Yeah, I guess. All right, I'll take Baylor. -3, -110, full game.
All right, I'm very interested in joining. Let's roll on. Great stuff, Spoons. Thank you for always wanting to share your info and thought process with us. It's great. A Spoon, of course, Peter, you guys will be meeting at Pubapalooza 5 as well. Nasty Nate on Baylor first half. We roll on, Peter. 9 p.m. Eastern, Air Force Falcons, 3-22, 0-14 in the Mountain West. At the New Mexico Lobos, 19-6, 10-4 in the Mountain West. We're in the pit in Albuquerque, which hasn't been very good to them lately. They lost to Utah State badly, 86-66. Ugly. That was when the opening line should have been focused on and not the line movement. The fact that Utah State opened up at basically a pick 'em when they had the identical records, and they're at the pit was perfectly snuffed out by our guy Morgan Spooner, and I screwed it all up seeing that move to 2.5. And back in the Lobos. Then they lose 91-90 at home to Boise State. They go into Grand Canyon and beat them 70-64. But it feels like this is a angry group, losers of 2 straight at the pit. Maybe they take it out on Air Force, who look horrible, coming off a 30-point loss at Fresno State. This is a team that's losing badly and losing by margin. Let's get into the line history here for this spot. We have a total at 149. I mean, isn't that a sign that the favorite's not going to let up? Opened up at 143.5, and we're up to 149. And then when we get to the point spread here for this one, and it's a big one. When we get to the point spread, we have New Mexico -28. Opened up at 27.5. Now we're sitting at 28. It's a very, very expensive number. And when we get to the cash flow, 58% of tickets, 59% cash on New Mexico. 50% of the tickets on the over, but 61% cash on the over. We have Rod Zawacki says, bet against New Mexico on the first half line after a win by 6 points or less. New Mexico record on the first half line since 2025 season, 0-8 against the spread. Billy Friedrich on Air Force, team total under 16.5. New Mexico first half -15.5. Take it away, Peter. What do you think about the Lobos putting their foot down on the throats of the Falcons and pressing down because they've lost 2 straight at home?
Yeah, Air Force gets smoked in their first half. So I'd love to take a shot with New Mexico first half -16, but college basketball, Jim. Who are the players on New Mexico? Are they scumbags? Maybe a little bit. I'm going to pass on this one.
We have a pass here for this one. Let's roll into our next spot on the board. SEC action for Georgia, Kentucky Wildcats. This is another game, Peter, where we have the luxury of a text message from Morgan Spooner. Says Georgia should be getting their best score back today. We have our guy Spooner on Georgia +7.5. So Georgia should be getting their best score back today. He's not on the official injury report, which is accurate in the SEC. They play with a top 10 pace in the country. Kentucky has only beaten one team that plays with pace, and it was the Arkansas game. Wine time, though, he is on Kentucky -7.5 here in this one. Georgia Bulldogs 17-8, 5-7 in the SEC. They are ranked 43rd according to KenPom. We have Kentucky ranked 27th according to KenPom. Of course, we are in Rupp Arena in Lexington for this one. So let's set up the line history and set up the situation here. Georgia coming off losses. They lost 86-66 badly by 20 at home to Florida. They lost badly at Oklahoma in their last game, 94-78. We have Kentucky coming off a loss, 92-83 at the Gators. We know how tough Florida is. So this is the lone meeting for Georgia and Kentucky this year, where the only time that they're meeting, so we don't have any kind of Rebenga in store. When we get to the spread here for this one, Georgia opened up at +8, and now they're +7, a 1-point move towards the Dogs. When we get down to the total in this one, we have 161. This opened up at 163.5. 2.5 point move towards Georgia here. And Big Zo says Kentucky money line going to be a cowardly parlay leg for him. Billy Friedrich on Georgia team total under 77.5. Dizzy says Kentucky first half money line. Kentucky minus 6.5 plus 142. One of the easiest bets on the board. Wow, there you go. Take it away for us here, Pete. What do you think of the Georgia Bulldogs?
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about maybe just a Kentucky team total over here. Should be a pretty fast-paced game. Georgia is a weird team. They definitely overall kind of suck, but definitely, they definitely show up more than once in a while. So yeah, I was thinking about Kentucky first half as well, and maybe more so Kentucky team total over.
Oh, sorry, I thought at first that was Georgia team total over, but no, it's Kentucky.
No, Kentucky.
Okay. All right. Let me move this over to Kentucky here for
that's what I was thinking about. I'm not making it official yet, but yeah, that's what I was thinking about.
All right. Jose Perez liking that Kentucky team total over. Let's roll on. Next up for us, we stay in the SEC for our next spot, and it is LSU Tigers. Now 14-11, 2-10 in the SEC. At the Texas Longhorns, 16-9, 7-5 in the SEC. We're at the Moody Center in Austin, Texas. LSU ranked 55th according to KenPom. The Longhorns ranked 29th according to KenPom. Sorry, I just moved this off the wrong thing. Let's get into the line history and the setup here. LSU off of 3 straight losses, coming off a 73-63 loss at Tennessee. The difference, according to the Longhorns are playing much better basketball right now. 4 straight wins, so a very different trajectory. We have this LSU squad, losers of 6 of their last 7 games. And they also, this is their lone meeting versus Texas this year. So there's no sort of Rebenga. This is a team that's struggling mightily in conference play and playing really bad basketball. As I said, the Longhorns now have won 4 straight games, coming off a beautiful 85-68 win at Mizzou. That was on the heels of taking out Ole Miss at home, 79-68. They're playing good basketball. Let's take a look at the line history and see if Peter is interested in this spot. Total-wise here, we have a 150.5. We've dropped 5 points from the opener. 155.5, cut down to 149.5. Now we're back up to 150.5. And from a point spread standpoint, we have this one here. Sorry, just lost it here. Sitting with Texas minus 11.5. Here, sorry. Let me get this again here. Minus 11.5. Opened up at 10.5. Now 11.5. A 1 point move towards the Longhorns. And then cash flow wise, we have, come on here. I don't know why this is, there's not that many games. Shouldn't be hard for me to find. Here we go. 68% of tickets, 72% of cash on Texas. No information on the total. Peter Loshak, take it away here. Our next spot on the board. And Gorky's play of the day, Michigan, Texas, Texas Tech money line. That's at plus 130. Peter, take it away. LSU, Texas Longhorns.
First of all, I did decide something. I'm going to add on Ohio State first half money line. I'll quote a line for you there. Yeah, I mean, Texas should roll here. Of course, in college sports, expect the unexpected, but sometimes when that happens, you just pack it up and eat your losses. LSU, they're banged up, and Texas rolling, winning, covering everything. I think using maybe a money line in a parlay would be justifiable. It's a high line, but they're way better, and LSU is definitely not in good shape right now. In Texas overall rolling, although it could be a bit of a letdown spot. Yeah, it's always possible. Thinking about Texas team total over as well, 81.5.
All right. Question marks there. I've got it locked down. Peter, we have 4 games left of 30 on today's college basketball card. Thank you guys for joining us. Loshak in the bag, back in business every Tuesday here on Pub Sports Radio, 10 p.m. Eastern. We head over to the Mountain West, where our friend DJ Big Boss does it best. Let's roll here. We have Nevada Wolfpack, 17-8, 9-5 in the Mountain West. San Jose State Spartans, 6-19, 1-3 in the Mountain West. We're at Provident Credit Union Event Center in San Jose, California. Nevada ranked 59th, according to Ken Palm. San Jose State all the way down to 253rd. These teams played each other on January 20th. Nevada annihilated San Jose State 87-54 in that one. They're coming off a loss at San Diego State, 71-57. They also had a loss. They've lost 2 of their last 3. Lost in overtime at Boise State. The San Jose State are coming off of a loss at home to Grand Canyon by 15. This is not a good basketball team. We saw them just a little while ago, 2 weeks ago, lose by 31 at home to Boise State. So they face Nevada here. Let's get into the line history. We have a Matty Ice here. Says very close to betting San Jose State plus 12 here. Interesting. Let's hear what Peter thinks about this spot. We have San Jose State plus 11 right now on the board. Opened up at 9.5. Now we're at 11. A 1.5 point move towards the Wolfpack. From a total standpoint here, we have Nevada, San Jose State at 141. It's opened up at 142.5. Interestingly enough, it went up to 143.5 before the drop. Overall, 1.5 move towards the under. And when we get to the cash flow, we have 94% of the tickets, 94% of the cash on the Wolfpack. Now the line is moving in their direction. Matty Ice says, I just feel like this is the typical Nevada letdown written all over it. There's Dabby Cab in the house. What up, Dabby? Take it away for us here. Peter Loshak, Wolfpack Spartans in San Jose, California.
Yeah, definitely leaning San Jose State first half. But Nevada is off of a pretty bad loss to an excellent team, right? The San Diego State loss. So I don't know if it's a letdown spot for them really, because they're coming off of a loss to a good team, right? Definitely leaning San Jose State first half though.
A lean towards the Spartans first half. Let's roll into our next spot, Peter, and we stay in the Mountain West. I'm going to go back up to our notes. Oh, by the way, the over 161.5 was Stacks Play Today number 2 in Kentucky, Georgia. Here, Play Day number 2. For our next spot here, we have Lopes action. Grand Canyon being bet here, and I just want to not miss. And I remember I got it right here. Is it here? Sorry, give me 2 more seconds. It's not wine time here. It's not wine time. I'll just give me 2 more. Yes. It was our guy, Christopher Tatum. Christopher Tatum is on the Grand Canyon Lopes on the road here at the aforementioned San Diego State Aztecs. The Lopes bounced back after 2 losses at UNLV by 2 points. Then they lost to New Mexico at home by 6. They took it out on San Jose State, beat them on Saturday 94-79 at San Jose State. And the Aztecs have won 3 straight since that loss at Utah State. They beat Wyoming at home 72-63. They destroyed, like everybody else in the conferences, Air Force at Air Force 88-54. And then they just beat Nevada at home 71-57. The Aztecs are playing good basketball. Now, Grand Canyon beat San Diego State January 21st, 70-69. So the question, of course, is, do the Aztecs want to answer for that one? In that game, the Grand Canyon Lopes were plus 1.5. They opened up as a favorite and became a dog, 1.5 to 1.5 minus to plus. We have we have this total of 139.5. Opened up at 137. We've climbed 2.5 points. Got up to 140 before going down to 139.5. And then when we get to the point spread here for this spot, we have a Grand Canyon plus 8. They opened up at plus 7, got up to 8.5 before there was a half point of buyback. We're sitting at a plus 8 right now. And when we get in, Galatasaray is taking a 3-2 lead, Peter.
There you go.
Lead. We have 60% of tickets, 66% of cash on Grand Canyon, 57% of tickets on the over, and 53% of cash on that over. Peter Loshak, take it away, my friend. We have the Lopes trying to take out San Diego State for a second time this year.
Yeah, I took San Diego State again on a money line parlay with NC State first half money line. That was plus 106. San Diego State at the time was minus 240 money line. Grand Canyon, good team, but San Diego State, quality, excellent at home with revenge, and I like it first half.
Okay, so we are using the Aztecs in a first half money line parlay here. Let's roll on, Peter. 2 games left here of the 30 on our card. And we have a spot that Wine Time Sports is moving on here. He has a very good read on his Minnesota Golden Gophers. And he is on them here. Minnesota money line at plus 170, Peter, plus 170. We also have Acacia on the Grand Canyon spot here. And Acacia here on Minnesota as well. Golden Gophers 11-14, 4-10 in the Big Ten. At the Oregon Ducks 9-16, 2-12 in the Big Ten. Matthew Knight Arena in Eugene, Oregon. Minnesota ranked 84th according to Ken Palm, and we have Oregon ranked 97th. Let's get into the line history here for this one and see if Peter is interested. Second to last game on the card. We've had a very big move towards the Ducks here. They opened up at minus 1.5, and now they're minus 4. They got up to 4.5 a couple different times. Sitting here minus 4, a 2.5 point move toward the Ducks, and Wine Time goes in with no fear whatsoever. When we get to the total here, we have a 136. This opened up at 134.5, dropped down to 133.5, got up to 137.5 one point, but we are sitting here with a 136. A big move to an Oregon team that's won just twice in conference play this season. Oregon coming off a home victory over Penn State, 83-72. Minnesota has started this Western trip with a 69-57 loss at Washington on Saturday, and now face Oregon. So here we go, Pete. This is the first and lone meeting between these two squads this season. And again, cash flow, 70% of the tickets and 88%. Oh, wow. Now it's 70% of tickets and 90% of cash on Minnesota. Wild. 83% of tickets on the over, 70% of cash on the over. Take it away for us here, Peter. Gophers, Ducks.
Well, very tough one because both these teams very banged up and kind of desperate. So, I was thinking, my note is Oregon probably rolls again, but I have no clue. Minnesota, of course, can be competitive, but they're both salty. They're both banged up. Oregon got a win. They should be they're like a team like we don't suck as bad as we did. But again, Minnesota also banged up, also shorthanded most of the year. They're scrappy, so I just total pass. And I'm definitely not going to add it like the Baylor one, but free play. Now that I hear people in the comment section like in Minnesota, I would definitely take it. I might bet it.
So you would not be concerned about this big move towards the Ducks?
Sure, I would. Of course.
But at this point, you're thinking, look, this number is now where I want it?
I'm going to pass. It's just a crazy game, wacky game.
Keisha saying that Minnesota getting their best player back today. Michael Johnson says the Nebraska line just flipped here. Peter, our final game of 30. We will do the review right after this. Our final game of 30 is the Texas Tech Red Raiders. We've heard the Goracle on Texas Tech. We've heard Kong on Texas Tech. The number 13th ranked Texas Tech Red Raiders, 19-6, 9-3 in the Big 12. At the Arizona State Sun Devils, 13-12, 4-8 in the Big 12. Desert Financial Arena in Tempe, Arizona. Texas Tech ranked 16th, according to Ken Palm. Arizona State all the way down to 70th. And Texas Tech has bounced back. Look, they lost at UCF 88-80. That followed up with a loss at home to Kansas 64-61. They went to West Virginia, beat them 70-63, took out Colorado, dominated them 78-44, and then went to Arizona and put an L in the loss column for Arizona, 78-75 overtime victory. So they've been on the road. They've been told that they're the greatest. They took out the number one team in the country. That's now no longer the number one team in the country. So you would think this might be a letdown spot versus Arizona State. This is their lone meeting with Arizona State. And can they follow up a massive victory? Arizona State coming up, taking out Oklahoma State 85-76 at home. They lost by 13 to Arizona at home. They defeated Cincinnati by 14 at home. They lost to West Virginia 75-63 at home. Those are the last 4 games here at home for Arizona State. Let's get into the line history here. This totals a 153.5. Opened up at 154. Got up to 154.5, down to 152. Now we're sitting back at 153.5. Half-point move towards the under. And we get back to the point spread here, Peter, for our final spot on this 30-game college basketball board. Arizona State available at +8, -113 here. So we get to the cash flow. You have 54% of the tickets and 64% of the cash on Arizona State. We have DraftKings at a 7.5, FanDuel at 8.5, BetMGM at a 7.5, Circa at an 8, and they've got 61% of tickets, 51% of cash on Texas Tech. They moved it down from 8.5. I mean, I don't want to cap college basketball like the NBA. It doesn't work for me. But man, do I want to line up and see if Texas Tech can do it again? Yes, I want to back Arizona State badly, Peter. Should I have a ton of trepidation for doing that? What do you think?
I don't know. This is a total pass for me, of course. We know what Texas Tech did. Arizona off for a while, and they were covering. Their only ATS loss recently was at Colorado, totally forgivable. So they've been covering too. They're not a team that can be steamrolled, and it's a lot of points. Who knows? I'm just going to pass on this one.
God, I'm interested, very, very interested in Arizona State, but is it a foolish decision here? Goracle says different levels. Yeah, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. It's just, God, you beat the number 1 team in America, and you face them again a few days later. It's, face a much worse team a few days later. It's going to be very difficult for me not to be on Arizona State here, +8 points. Maybe it should be a first half focus. Texas Tech will, regroup. Peter Loshak, 30 games in college basketball. Please review your action, my friend.
Okay, I'm going to add some stuff as well.
Yes.
I'm going to add Ohio State first half +0.5, -112. And I think I'm going to add on Kentucky team total over 83.5, -114. I'm going to add that one. All right. And then I'm thinking of adding on Eastern Michigan, Ohio, and Texas moneyline parlay. But maybe I won't. Right. As of right now, the only ones I have officially: Michigan -2, -118. Northern Illinois first half +5, -115. UNC, NC State under 158.5, -119. NC State first half money line. San Diego State first half money line parlay +106. SMU first half +2, -108, and full game team total over 81.5, -110. UCF first half money line -113. Virginia Tech first half spread +4.5, -112. UT Martin first half money line -138. Full game money line -148, and the full game under 140.5, -114. Baylor -3, -110. Ohio State first half +0.5, -112, and Kentucky team total over 83.5, -114.
Wow, Peter, you are not messing around today. I love to see it, my friend. I love to see it. I moved on 2 bets before arriving here in college basketball. We will do a quick review of Olympic hockey, but I moved on TCU money line +105 and Iowa Hawkeyes first half -0.5, -111. And the plan at this point is to go over all of this information and make moves. At this point, the Michigan -2 or 2.5 is extremely appealing. It's going to be, maybe I'm going to take a look at what's going on with the Xavier line. I don't think I should get in line to fade Villanova here. Then NIU first half +5. I wanted it. That was going to be the third of the trio for my action coming in, but I held off because I wanted to talk it out with you guys. Pete has moved on it. I'm very, very interested in joining him. I'm still interested in the Gamecocks first half against the Gators. Again, I will decide whether or not it's one thing as a pick. It's another thing to bet it, which I will decide here after the show if I'm going to bet it. Then the NC State being this big of a favorite does appeal to me. It's expensive. It's expensive for a reason. I'm still interested in Rhode Island at this number here. The SMU spots that you guys are on, I find very appealing. I want to study it a little bit longer. I'm not going to get in the way, I don't believe, of the Red Hawks here. But if there's a team that's really, really can't wait for the Red Hawks to come to town, it's a team that barely lost to them back on January 27th. It's 9.5 point dogs. So I just don't want to line up to get in the way. As I said, I've moved on TCU. Very nervous about it. Loshak's moved on UCF first half. Bowling Green, I very interested in the Bobcats. I'm going to study that longer. My favorite part of the day is after a show like this. Loshak moved on Virginia Tech first half. That appeals to me very much at Miami here. And then looking down, it kind of slows down. The UT Martin spots that you guys are on appeals to me very, very much. The Baylor angle, I want to see what happens with that line as we move forward. And then, I got to study this Georgia spot a little bit longer. I thought that Texas team total over idea that Peter had was interesting and worth more study. And then, it's going to be very difficult for me not to be on Arizona State. I don't think you need to rush to do that. It might be one of those spots where you kind of see how your night's going. The day started off great, 6-2 in Olympic hockey. So the day started out great. We have another game popping off in an hour and 5 minutes or so here. 55 minutes here in Olympic hockey. And my plan, and we're just going to take a quick look and see if any line changes here. But no line changes. My plan is to move on overs. Everybody's seen the unders. I've bet now 3 unders today and cashed them all. If you notice in the Czechia, Denmark, now I know there's a big outburst second period, but that line moved 25 cents towards the under before the game started. There's no movement here. The world's just seen 3 straight unders. And this was my plan all along, was when is Sweden going to explode? This is not a fade against Latvia, and you don't need to bet both Sweden and the over. If the over hits, it's because Sweden is rocked. And so I'm expecting to bet the first period over in the full game over. And that'll be my first bet here as soon as the show ends. Peter, I just want to review action here from Cappers in the chat.
Can I add one other thing, Jim?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
I will add it. Eastern Michigan, Ohio, and Texas. Full game money line parlay. That minus 117.
And Peter, we also, of course, here, and I'm going to track how we do on this. So this will be the low bag parlay here. So Peter, I'm going to go over action from the chat. Think about what you want to use.
Okay. And do you mind if because there's a whole bunch of 2:45 Eastern soccer stuff that I want to kind of get to. Do you mind if I dip out just a little early?
If you give out your half of the low bag parlay, for sure.
I think that is not really going to take much thought. I will say UT Martin is tempting, but it's going to be Virginia Tech first half plus 4.5.
Virginia Tech first half plus 4.5. Peter, it's great to have you back in business. I can't wait to be doing this live and in person with you in San Antonio. Excellent work today, my friend, and good luck with all of your action. Any last words for the Capper Supporting Show?
No, thanks so much, but this is great. We got a lot of fun stuff in store, and I'm not just talking about Pubapalooza. I definitely included that as well. A little bit chaotic this week, but we're going to get into a really nice groove here, Jimmy the Bag. I think we're going to have a really nice season.
I fucking hope so. I hope so. There he is, Peter Loshak in the house. So a review of action here. Respect play today is Iowa -1. Stacks play today number 1, SMU +4. Stacks play today number 2, Kentucky Georgia over 161.5. I will close with my leg of the low bag parlay. Best bets for Kong: Louisville -3.5. Louisville first half -1.5. Louisville moneyline Brown Jr. 3 threes. So the money line and Brown Jr. 3 threes is +130. We have Pig Milk play today, SMU money line at +162. He added Air Force team total under 60.5 in New Mexico first half -15.5. Spooner, Michigan -1.5. Kent State +3.5. UCF money line. NC State, UMass +3. NC State -6. UMass +3.5. Virginia Tech +7.5. Wisconsin money line. Georgia +7.5. Baylor -3.5. Flank and Galatasaray up 4-2. I love it. Flank stake play today. Kansas State on the spread. George Washington on the spread. Wisconsin on the spread. Ball State on the spread. My dude play of the day. Central Michigan +5.5. Fresno State +8.5. Louisville money line. Michigan money line parlay. Also Louisville -4. Bowling Green game under 151.5. Twisted 24/7 on Ball State, Ohio over 143. My dude also Fresno State +8.5. Deacon Mike, St. Louis team total over 81.5. Kong's Clips plays of the day, Louisville money line, Texas Tech first half money line. And Taint play of the day, Tennessee Martin, UT Martin -2.5. TJ gave us Chicago White Sox under 68.5 win total. He says this move to the over has just gone too far. Love it. And then more action here. Let me just say Ron Crawford spreadsheet play days. Baylor -3. Kong's Clip's going to double up on Texas Tech here. Doubling up on Texas Tech. And then we have one more group of action. That's wine time. Purdue +1 first half. NC State -6.5. Xavier +4. Florida -23. UCF -1. UCLA +8.5. Kentucky -7.5. Minnesota money line at +170. UMass money line +150. Iowa money line -120. -120. Okay, I know what I'll do then. To tie into his action, right away, popping off right now. The over 5.5. It's juiced at -155, but this is part of a parlay. There's no need for the 6. So the Sweden, Latvia over 5.5 at -155. So let's just go to a book right now here and put the parlay together. I'd like to go to a sharper book here as well. So let's just do this here as well. So Christopher Carter in the house. Great to see you. Gregorio, my man, how do I join? My man, what exactly do you want to just bet this, or what do you join what, my friend? Because you are already a big part of our capping here. So quickly, the low bag parlay of the day. Oh shit, sorry. Let me just quickly. Shit, I screwed that up. Here we go. Low bag parlay, which is Virginia Tech first half. So let's go here. Virginia Tech first half. Let's see what we'll track. We'll track. We did this many years ago, and we tracked our parlay of the day. So Virginia Tech first half +4.5. That's a -111. And we're going to tie that up with Olympic hockey, the over 5.5. Wow, -138. That's a nice number, which gives us a +228. Our first low bag parlay is +228. Let's get it. Let's get it. Jim DeWeer on Sweden first period over 2 at +300. I love it. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for supporting Peter and myself. It means the world to us. I'm really excited to be back in action with them. Loshak in the Bag live and in person in San Antonio here in 35 days, man. Shout out to Matty Ice. Started Taint play day. Gregorio Ruiz, the Gorkle, Wine Time Sports, Jim Dewigger, Philly Eagle Flyer, Big Zo, Christopher Carter, Morgan Spooner, the Godfather, Justin Mcelvy, Miss Smokes a Lot, Keisha, cool, man. Kong's Clips, Michael Johnson. Thank you guys. BT, my man. Can't wait to rock with you in San Antonio, buddy. Dabby Gab, same goes, man. Cannot wait to see you down there. Thank you guys so much for rocking with us. AOD. Also, AOD going to be down there. Robert Franklin, thank you, man. Mark Navarez, Rez Mob, Steady Mobbin, Yankee, JJ, Billy, Friedrich, all of you guys, man. Respect. Thank you for rocking with us. Let's go out there and get this money, man. Let's go out there and get this money. Our never-ending battle with the books continues. Let's milk these motherfuckers. Leche. Hey, los bookmakers. Milk that shit.